All right, welcome in, everybody. It is a Thursday. Gwynn and Chris on 97.3 The Fan. Somebody told me on my way in the Padres lost again. Was that right, Skraby? We have to talk about another loss?
Yes.
I don't know.
I said they wouldn't win a game this week.
I heard a rumor on the way into work that they actually got beat again today.
It's not a rumor, Chris.
It's not enough that we have to break down one loss last night. After the show, we have to break down a second loss today before the show. And so here we are with the Padres on their way home, tails between their legs, and a record which is not all that impressive anymore, 32-29. They have officially dropped 5 in a row, and they have officially dropped, I believe, so I'm having trouble adding it up so quickly now, I believe it's 11 out of 14 games overall. And if I can try to put it into perspective of how bad things have gotten, let's start with this. The Philadelphia Phillies, who began the season 9-19 and fired their manager, now have a better record than the Padres. If that's not enough to concern you, how about this? If the playoffs started tonight, the Padres would not be in them. That's right. 32-29 right now, all that does is tie you for the 7th best record in the National League with the Diamondbacks. And if they win later tonight, you'll fall into the number 8 spot. But right now, the Braves, the Phillies, the Brewers, the Cardinals, the Pirates, and the Dodgers all have better records than the Padres do. So they would not be in the postseason right now. They are a -10 in run differential. Offensively, they continue to be an absolute mess, even though they scored 4 runs today. Basically, all their offense consisted of was 2 bloops and 2 blasts. The bloops were provided by Bryce Johnson. The blasts were provided by Manny and Jackson Merrill way too late in the 9th inning. And by the way, Manny Machado, one of the worst performances ever seen by a hitter in a game in which he hit a home run. So we'll get into it later. I mean, you can look at the stats and go, Manny homer today. That's great.
Yeah, if you just look at the box score, you would not see the full picture.
I couldn't believe what I was seeing. We'll talk about that and everything else. Notes on the scorecard should be a doozy today, Skrabe. I will tell you, there's all of the, yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. We may have to do 2 segments for notes on the scorecard today. They get beat 6-4 and they really don't do anything. They had 1 at bat today with the runner in scoring position the entire day. And of course that at bat belonged to Manny, who, again, you're going to tell me he hit a home run. Great. When the game had a chance to, get back in it, he did not come through, just as he did not come through in the game yesterday when they had a chance to get back in it late. And, this is becoming a theme with Manny Machado. Currently, with all due respect, and, how many times have I said my Manny and my Machado, the whole thing. There's nobody loves Manny more. And, defensively, he's a wonder to watch. He's got to be the most overrated future Hall of Famer in the game right now. He's like guaranteed to go to the Hall of Fame. Fine. He's got the worst batting average in baseball.
Chris, you are if I were to say that he's a fake Hall of Famer after
I didn't say fake Hall of Famer. I said he's the most overrated player in baseball right now. This moment. The Manny that we're getting is so far away from a Hall of Fame player, it's comical to suggest that we're watching a guy who's one of the best players in baseball. He's not. And this season is one thing, the 171 average and the lowest hitting in baseball. It goes back to a lot of last season too. He has been scuffling for a long time. And, look, there is blame to go around. I got blame in reserve for this team right now. The bullpen, which is the one thing that we're supposed to be able to count on, in a lot of ways lost all 3 games. in this series. The first game, Estrada comes in a 2-2 tie after a really well, pitched, good effort there by Michael King, to keep you in the hunt. And what does he do? He walks the first hitter. And that guy comes around to score, and they lose the ball game. Today, Adrian Morejon, right after Manny gets him back in the game, comes right in, walks the first hitter. And that opens the floodgates to a disastrous inning for him. The only reliever who did not come in and walk the first hitter should have walked the first hitter. And that's Jason Adam, because all he did yesterday was give up a home run to the first hitter he saw. And then just for fun, he gave up another one before he left. And that game got away. So, look, we've talked about the hitting, endlessly, but your bullpen is the one thing that you can go back and count on. Well, even that's failing you now. And I don't know, Mason Miller was even on the trip. I mean, there's no – the funny
it was he?
I'm assuring he was. But the bottom line is when you have a great closer like that, and he's probably your best player, when your best player is a closer, it does you no good if you can't win a game. Closers do nothing for you when you're losing all the time. And, I'm going to throw this out because I don't like to overrate it, but Chris Rose, who's one of the, supposedly well-connected baseball guys. I don't know if he's ever, correctly predicted a trade in his life, but he's on, was it MLB Network or podcast or whatever he's doing today, and people watch him. He's got, Mason Miller right now being traded to the Yankees. And we'll throw that out. I mean, look, everything's possible. We should, if you're going to get rid of the hitting coach, you might as well take a manager with him. Everything's up for grabs right now. I even saw, according to Frank Marchese, I even saw somebody text in that we ought to just move the team.
Yeah, people need to get a grip.
Right, never mind that we're losing games. Let's just not have a team at all.
Can we take a step back for 1 second?
Of course we have to take a step back, Skraby.
1 second.
Of course we do, but I'm throwing out there what's
nothing that you said was
happening.
Incorrect.
Yeah.
Nothing that you said was incorrect. I'm very frustrated with this team. This is not a good enough performance from them at the plate. It's not a good enough performance from them all over the field. It's just not happening for them right now. But if our friend Tony Gwynn Jr. was here, he would try to tell us there's still a lot of time.
Yeah, but he's not here. He's at his daughter's graduation today. So we wish Michaela all the best and congratulate her for her accomplishment, moving on from high school. It's a great day for the Gwynn family. We will soldier on without Tony telling us to calm down today, Skraby.
Which is,
maybe that's best. Maybe that's best.
I was going to say.
When you're 3-11 and in those 14 games, you get double figures in hits one time, and you score 2 or fewer runs in 8 of those games, which is more than half. And you almost did it again today. Merrill saved you with the home run at the end of the game, but it's a mess. It's a complete mess right now. The Phillies go 6-0 over the Padres. As I said, the Padres are currently not even in a playoff spot. The good news, they're only a half game out, but I don't know how good a news that is. You do come home. You do have Michael King on the mound tomorrow night. You got the Mets coming in, who have actually been a bigger disaster than you have all season long. The Reds are coming in after that. June is a little early for a crucial homestand, but I would say this has got to qualify as one here. You've got to do something on this homestand. You can't go 1-5 on this homestand and go back out on the road next Thursday and be under 500, which is what you would be if you went 1-5. You would actually be under 500. So, I think this is a big homestand. The Mets, the Reds, it starts tomorrow night. Don't look now. The Padres are only 16-16 at home this year. They haven't been great at home. They've been decidedly mediocre at home, but hopefully they can get things turned. Baseball is a crazy game, and it's hard to predict a team that won 4 in a row, finished that with a 1-0 shutout of the Dodgers, went to 29-18, moved into first place with that victory over the Dodgers in that ball game. And here we are 2 weeks later, and not only are you not in the playoffs, you're now 7.5 games behind the Dodgers. You're not even within shouting distance of first place anymore. In fact, that's not even something you're thinking about.
It's almost like they're allergic to first place.
It's incredible.
Every time they get close, they end up going on these losing streaks and they look terrible. Like, I can understand getting swept by the Phillies in Philadelphia. I can wrap my mind around that. I cannot wrap my mind around the bad baseball that was played today. 2 errors? You can't do that. This team is not good enough right now for you to make any mistakes, let alone 2.
Well, I don't know. I didn't mention the real, the biggest fly in the ointment.
Go for it.
Your catching position is absolutely embarrassing. And I am not here to try to make a personal attack on one player. That is not what I'm here for. But the facts are the facts. 0 for 32, and the last 3 times he's thrown to second base, all 3 throws have gone into center field. And the other time, he just dropped the ball entirely and didn't get a throw off. He also got away with which would have been a pass ball that moved 2 runners up in the last inning. They ended up calling that a foul tip somehow. That's not acceptable. That's not me picking on him. That's not me taking a personal attack.
No.
Everything I just said has happened. You can't allow that to keep happening at the major league level. This is the major leagues. This is not, hey, you can bounce a throw into center field. No, you can't do that 3 straight times and stay in Major League Baseball. And 2 of those 3 throws, I might add, in the game the other day, didn't even go into center field. They both went into right center field. So is it a surprise that today his throw was pulled to the wrong side of the bag? Of course, he's got to try to compensate. It's not all Freddie Fermin's fault. It's far from that. It's not Nick Castellanos' fault, who they let go. It's not Ramon Laureano's fault, who they put on the injured list. It's not, anybody's fault. But it has to be. I mean,
it's a collective fault.
Yeah, everyone has to take their hand in this right now, and
Let
that's
me
the only.
This Manny quote.
To me, that's the only way you're going to get out of it.
This is the Manny quote from AJ Cassavell after the game. Now, last night, I will say, I saw Manny get more frustrated after an at-bat than I've ever seen him when he swung at that pitch outside and then he kind of hit himself in the head with the bat, which was a little nice to see. But he in the locker room after the game, he said, quote, "People are frustrated. The fans want us to win games. So do we. We're more frustrated than anybody. We want to turn things around. Everybody on this ball club is trying to do that. So we're going to keep working. Just know we're still in a good position, even though we're playing like dog bleep, but things will turn around. There's a lot of baseball to be played." I don't necessarily not believe Manny, but I think that narrative has to maybe go away for a little bit because it's not being communicated to the fans. Like when he says everything's fine, it's not.
Somebody who's a little meaner than I am would probably say something in return to Manny that if you don't lift the bat off your shoulder, you're not going to change anything.
Yeah.
His at-bats today, the first 2 at-bats were as bad as I've ever seen. And his third at-bat was on its way to being.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll talk about it all. We got the notes on the scorecard. The Phillies win 6-4. We're just getting underway. We got 4 full hours today. Sorry about that, but there's not going to be a whole lot of positive things to say about this Padre road trip, which has ended with 5 consecutive losses. We will get into some of the other things. Of course, Sam Levitt, by the way, bounced in and out of here in a very good mood today. Obviously doesn't care about the Padres.
And also, can we talk about Sam? He texted me at 8:30 a.m. saying, be ready to go at 2. That's all he said. And so today I get here, he's like, 2 p.m. I'm off by 2. What happened, Chris? He went over 2 p.m. He enjoys this losing streak, I think.
Yeah, but he also enjoys the Knicks beating the Spurs and going up 1-0 in the NBA Finals. There's some other notes and stuff to talk about. We'll get into all of it. The notes on the scorecard is going to be the first big deal. It's coming up in about 10 minutes, so I think I'd stay tuned if I were you. Gwynn and Chris, 97.3 The Fan. Hey, it's Chris.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch.
So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Skraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Giants are beating the Brewers right now 12-7 in the ninth inning. Why am I bringing that up? Giants' victory will close them within 8 games of the Padres. In the National League West, it's just gotten so ridiculous that I thought I'd even look that up. Welcome back to Gwynn and Chris. It was 6-4 Philadelphia over another really pop gun performance by the Padre offense. 2 bloop singles.
Is a pop gun like you
pop
think
gun,
it's a real gun, but it actually ends up being a pop gun?
You carry the gun and you
cap
just go,
gun.
Bloop.
Yeah,
cap gun is just go bloop, and the little streamer
that's
comes
a good
out.
Way
and
of putting it.
Yeah, the streamer comes out and it's just yeah. That's
or it's like a clown where it says bang.
Right. That's kind of what their offense is. Bryce Johnson got the first hit, a bloop single in the 6th inning. I think they made it to the 6th inning without a hit today. Manny hit a home run, and then in the 9th inning, Bryce Johnson hit another bloop single, and Jackson Merrill hit a home run, but that was too little, too late. We'll have all of it on notes on a scorecard, including Manny Machado's adventures at the plate today. I don't get it. I don't understand what was going on. I know it's not easy to hit a baseball. I know I probably couldn't swing the bat as well if the ball was coming in at 97, but I'm also not ticketed for Cooperstown. So I expect the guy that is to look like he's ready to play. And I don't know what was going on with him today. We're broadcasting from the Bill House Studios where we know how. And we also, a little bit later, we'll have Sam Dykstra from MILB.com. Great minor league, knowledge guy. And I think that's sensible, given that the Padres have called up Jace Bowen, 1 for 8 in the series. And I think we saw Samad Taylor for 0 for 2. So,
but you're going to ask him the question that we all want to know.
Well, we got to know about he's got to say that even if you say that Ethan Salas isn't ready, like everyone else, Bud Black, everyone we've interviewed has said he's not ready. It's got to be better than what we're doing. It just has to. Anyway, it's part of the frustration, right? Everything's frustrating right now. All right, let's get back on the clock here. We'll do notes on a scorecard next, take you through today's ball game, and see what we come up with on Gwynn and Chris.
Ben and Wood.
3-2 to Merrill. France big lead at first. They're playing behind him, not running. Jackson swings, hits it in the air to right field and deep. This one is way back and gone for Jackson Merrill. Off the facing of the second deck. And Jackson Merrill's 2-run homer here in the 9th inning has tightened things up at 6-4.
That is our producer, Matt Skraby, putting some lipstick on a pig.
Whoa. Did that happen?
Of course it did.
Thank you.
And it makes it sound like it was a glorious day in Philadelphia.
I'm just trying to get people to be a little happy today.
And I'm just saying that you're putting lipstick on a pig. It was another bad performance. Merrill hit a 2-run homer. It was too late. You heard Jesse say that closed the gap to 6-4, and that was as close as it got. 6-4 was the final. Phillies win. Padres have lost 5 in a row. They have lost 11 out of 14. They have fallen into a tie for second place with Arizona, which could pass them tonight. The Padres also have fallen out of playoff position in the National League. If the playoffs were to start tonight, the Padres would not be in them. We welcome you back to Gwynn and Chris. Crisello. Tony Gwynn Jr. is attending his daughter's graduation ceremony today.
Is it a promotion?
And we congratulate Michaela and the Gwynn family. It's an exciting day for a family when you get the eldest graduates. I imagine a few different emotions go through Tony's mind. Among them, wow, I'm getting old. Because his daughter that he probably just saw born yesterday is now graduating from high school. So I think that is among the emotions that parents feel on days like this. So.
I can't even imagine, Tony has had a kid for 18 years. I can't even imagine being, what was he, like 24 when he had
Tony
his
doesn't
kid?
even seem like he's 18 himself.
That's
sometimes.
True. It's true.
The Xander Bogaerts bobblehead giveaway presented by Palomar Specialty Insurance is coming. This coming Tuesday, June 9th at 6:40, when the Padres take on the Cincinnati Reds, the first 40,000 fans in attendance will receive a Bogey Goes Boom bobblehead. It's presented by Palomar Specialty Insurance. Repping the Padres military Sunday uniform, Xander Bogaerts is featured with his signature home run swing. For more information, visit padres.com/giveaways. All right.
Jocelyn says this real quick. My son, Jagger, just promoted from 8th, and my daughter, Penelope, from 5th, middle school and high school. Too many emotions for our family.
It's a lot to deal with.
I'm sure it is.
We got you covered, Jocelyn. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the emotions of today's Notes on a Scorecard.
What did Chris like? What does Chris want to clean up? Observations written on a grocery list. Notes on a Scorecard starts now.
So while you were celebrating your lovely wife's birthday last week, I ended up doing a Notes on a Scorecard on I felt the pressure, Chris. I felt, because this is not easy. People don't understand. You think you just sit there and you watch and you write things down? No. You have to do some work on this, Chris. So I have a new level of respect for Notes on a Scorecard.
Thank you. Hopefully everybody will not enjoy these today. They're not intended to be enjoyed.
Okay, let's get into it then.
Top of the first inning. Will the Padres come out aggressive and swinging? Manny Machado starts his day by taking strike 1, taking strike 2, taking strike 3, and going back to the dugout to get his glove to prepare for the bottom of the first. It was only the beginning of a very odd day at the plate for Manny Machado. The third pitch, by the way, was a fastball right down the middle. And okay, he got fooled. But it should only happen once, right? In the bottom of the first, Kyle Schwarber leads off, and of course, he rakes a base hit to right field. And I see that Schwarber's hitting 233. Well, in my mind, he's hitting 933. It doesn't seem like we ever get him out. It seems like he almost always homers against the Padres. He did last night. And I kind of felt, hey, single? That was a victory of sorts for Lucas Giolito to keep Schwarber in the ballpark. Bottom of the first continues, 1 out runner at first. Bryce Harper hits a drive into the right field corner. Nice catch by Bryce Johnson, sliding over there. My first thought is, sorry, Nick, but Castellanos probably doesn't get that. It's probably a double and a run scores.
You're right.
And for whatever reason, Trey Turner must have thought Castellanos was out there because he kept running. I don't, look, people just kind of chalk it up and say that's aggressive. That's not aggressive. That's dumb. You're on first base. The guy hits the fly ball. Turner goes halfway to second. You see the replay. He turns and looks out toward right field. And then I guess he decides that Bryce Johnson's not going to catch it, so he takes off. That's an easy double play. That's not aggressive. That's bad base running. So anyway, thank you, Trey Turner. That's the end of the first inning. This was something I thought of in the second inning. Ty France drew a walk. And the pitch on ball 4 from Zach Wheeler bounced and was like 5 feet outside, went all the way to the backstop, rolled around back there. This is not going to happen. But there was a time when somebody like, especially a Pete Rose, but somebody, similar, would sprint to first base there just in case the catcher had trouble finding the ball. And maybe once a season, somebody could get all the way to second on a walk because the ball bounced away.
Yeah.
Ty France was not going to make it to second. You know why?
He's not fast?
Because now when guys walk, it takes them 10 minutes to take off all of their gear, protective gear, and throw it back before they run to first base. I just had to laugh at that. It's a different way of the world.
I didn't think about that.
Yes. So it's ball 4, and then he's like, thank you.
Yeah,
take this off, take that off, get this thing off, unwrap that, and then he can let
me get on my oven mitt.
Right. He's got so many things to take care of that he doesn't have time to jog to first base. Anyway, that's not just Ty France. That's pretty much every hitter in baseball now.
Just a little different. Very strange if someone took off with all their gear on.
No, they don't.
First. What is this guy doing? He has his gear on. He's trying to take second.
That's what I mean. That never used to happen, right?
Crazy.
A guy would be ball 4, and you'd sprint to first and round the bag and, see if the catcher came up with the ball. Jackson Merrill came up. He was one of only 3 home players ever to hit 2 home runs in a game off Zach Wheeler coming into the game. He did it on July 12th. And wouldn't you know it, he homers 2 seats to the right of the foul pole. That ball's gone, except there's 1 seat to the right of the foul pole, and the second one, it was in foul territory. It's a foul ball. But he just missed.
Is there a little bit of a positive that Jackson Merrill is starting to wake up?
I hope so.
Okay.
He ended up striking out, though, in that particular at bat, which kind of goes along with the theme of everything these days. Lucas Giolito threw a curveball that I think landed on top of the screen behind home plate to Bryson Stott.
Yes.
And I thought Mark Grant was going to say it, but he didn't. But he's used it before, so I'll use it now. He almost hit the bull.
Oh, yeah.
From Bull Durham,
Yep,
where Nuke LaLoosh throws the ball and it boom. That's kind of what I thought.
Yes.
Like he missed by so much, he almost hit the bull.
That's the total Mudcat line too.
It was, but he didn't use it today. He didn't go with it today. On that same at bat, the count got to 3-1 on Bryson Stott, and Giolito burns a strike in there. The ump punches him out. Just go boom, and then everyone's like, "What? It's only strike 2." And then the ump goes, "My bad. Did you see that play?"
I did.
That was just a momentary brain cramp by the umpire there.
I do love that.
Yeah. Freddie Fermin came up in the 3rd inning, and this is going to be the beginning of a really long notes on a scorecard for Freddie Fermin. But he was batting 8th today. Ahead of who? Like, who is batting 9th? You?
Maybe.
Like, who would Freddie Fermin deserve to bat ahead of right now?
Bryce Johnson, I guess.
I guess so, because that's what he was batting ahead of.
Bryce Johnson was the only one other than
you got
Manny
2
and
hits
Jackson
today
to score a run.
I just thought if Freddie Fermin's batting ahead of somebody, okay, that's crazy. He flew out to go to 0 for 30. Adolis Garcia. He's only got 5 home runs, though. He hasn't been much of a pickup for them. He did time that slow curve and blasted in there for a 1-0 lead.
The whole thing with the Phillies is he came to the park on his off day on Monday so he could get extra work in.
It's funny, that kind of stuff normally does translate down the road somewhere.
Yeah.
The baseball gods see you working extra hard, and they sometimes reward you for it. Although I think the Padres offense is to the point where if they worked extra hard right now, it'd almost be paralysis by analysis.
Yes.
How much more can you work on? Okay, so he homers, and they put the graphic up that the Phillies were 9-19 before Don Mattingly came, and now they're 23-10. And Mark Grant and Don are talking, and they're saying, well, the big thing that they're all saying in Philadelphia is it wasn't that Rob Thompson couldn't manage. It wasn't anything. We just needed a new voice. And everybody seems to nod their head and go, yeah, boy, that's really worked out well. Well, if anybody ever needed a new voice, to me, it would be the Padres hitters. And again, I'm not trying to fire Souza. I'm not even saying he's not working hard or doing a great job. But it might be the time where somebody has to take a fall for how bad this hitting has been, for how long it's been. And maybe the excuse is, hey, our guys just need a new voice. This isn't fair to Souza. I'm not saying it's fair to any of the hitting coaches who've been fired before him because the Padres have gone through their share. But when you hit like this for 5 weeks in a row, and when everybody on the team is struggling, not just one guy, two guys, everyone, somebody's going to have to pay for this, I think. Are you just going to stay with the status quo and ride it out?
No, I don't think
I don't know how much longer you can.
I don't think you can do it for much longer. I don't think firing the hitting coach is going to help, but I can say this, the approach has not been consistent at all. And that does fall on the hitting coach and the coaching staff because they're the ones who come up with the approach. They're the ones who study how to attack these pitchers, and it's just not working right now. The at-bats just don't look uniform. It just look like a bunch of individual at-bats.
Yeah.
Which when they were good this year, moving the line, taking whatever's given to you, go on the opposite field, single, stuff like that. It's not happening right now. It hasn't happened for a while.
Haven't seen too many people even make a productive out lately.
Yeah,
where you ground out and move the guy over.
Are you willing to fire Craig Stammen yet? Because that's where some fans are going.
I'm not firing anybody, but I have to do something. I have two choices: go with the status quo and ride it out, or change something.
You got to change something.
Well, I think Sousa may have to be the guy who pays. I'm not attacking the guy,
no.
But who are you going to fire? The right field bench coach? You're going to fire the hitting coach.
No, I don't disagree with you.
Matsui's pitched well. Came in here today, first and third, gets Bryce Harper on a strikeout. Looks like you're going to get out of the inning. It's only going to be 2-0. And then brain cramps a throw down the right field line. Like, what was he even thinking there? You've got a runner on third. You can't just lallygag a toss over to first. Ty France couldn't have caught that with a butterfly net. And it rolls down there, and you get him another run. And then make it worse, he strikes out March next. So great pitching, but not contributing. You're hurting the team.
Yeah, definitely.
That's kind of the way it's been going. So 3-0 at that point. What do we all think? Game over. You don't have a lot of faith. You're getting no hit. You're down by 3. This is the way it's been.
Early in the year, I would have had a different opinion, but not right now.
Yes, you would have. Bryce Johnson, thank you for the bloop single in the 6th inning. We finally get a hit. We finally get something. Next pitch, Fernando hits into a double play. Like, that's just how it's going right now.
That burned my soul a little bit.
It's not, again, I'm not being critical. Fernando hits well on the first pitch, and he does it a lot. But the way it's going now, it's like, So we had a rally there for like less than a second.
Yeah.
And
it does seem like how it's been going.
Exactly. Yeah. Bryce. Hey, all right. Bryce is on. Oh, inning's over. All right. Bottom of the 6th inning, Marinacio's in. What happened on that phantom balk? No one ever explained it.
I was listening on the radio at this point, and Scanlon said that it must have been a balk because no one argued from the Padres side.
No one argued.
Yeah, so even Marinaccio didn't argue.
No one argued.
So they must have known that something was
Not
up.
only that, the Phillies dugout was yelling that it was a balk.
Yeah.
And the home plate umpire was like, I got it.
Yeah.
Well, they showed the replay 6 times, and I never saw a balk. Neither did Mark Grant. Neither did Orsillo. I don't know what they called there. Didn't cost you a run.
Again, that
because
microphone that they
Marinaccio got
have?
out of the inning. But,
Yeah.
that could have cost you a run. And I didn't understand that call. Manny had already now batted twice when he came up in the 7th inning. He had seen 6 pitches. They were all strikes. He had taken 5 of the 6 and struck out looking twice. His first 2 at-bats, I didn't even know who that was up there. So he comes up a 3rd time, and wouldn't you know, he takes 2 more pitches for strikes. I'm like, what is going on?
I heard the collective San Diego screaming.
That was 8 straight strikes, and he'd only swung at 2 of them.
Yeah.
The other 6 he just let go.
I wanted to make sure I was still in the right inning because I thought it was the previous at bat.
I didn't get it. I'm like, what has happened to this guy? Is he even there? And I think Zach Wheeler honestly had a moment of like, where he's like, wow, this guy's not even playing today. So he throws him one more fastball, and then Manny hits it over the moon.
Yeah.
I don't get baseball. Like, that's like crazy.
That is crazy.
You look like you don't even know what's going on for 8 pitches in a row, and then one goes in and you bomb it over the fence for a home run. That's crazy. And as I said earlier, this had to be one of the crazier days at the plate for a guy that actually hit a home run. So it's 3-2. You're back in the game. You got a chance. And then Mortahone comes out, and I just want to strangle him because he walks the leadoff hitter. Everything that happened after that, I'm going to give the Phillies some credit. They got some hits. They ran the ball. They got the running game going, et cetera. You just can't walk the guy to start it off, especially when he's the 9 hitter and you're bringing Schwarber and all those guys up.
Can't happen.
And the Phillies aren't stupid. They've seen Freddie Fermin can't throw. So what happens? The guy starts. Well, Mortahone, by the way, horrible job of trying to hold him on. Fermin shouldn't even have thrown that. He was already at second base, but he throws it anyway, and it's to the wrong side of the bag. Bogarts tries to sweep it across. It was almost as much Bogart's error as it was Fermin's, but the bottom line is it's the 3rd straight throw in 2 games that Fermin is thrown into the outfield.
Yeah.
That's unacceptable at the major league level.
You can't trust him right now. Defensively, offensively, it's all not working for him right now.
It's a complete utter disaster. Later in the inning, Trey Turner steals second, and Fermin just drops the ball this time. He didn't even get a throw off.
There's got to be so much going on in that guy's head.
And then the next batter, he drops a pitch that's inside. The runners move to second and third. He saved on that one because they said the ball glanced off the hitter's bat. I don't know what's going on, but it's not just for me, but a horrible inning by Mortahone takes the game away. You're down 6-2 now. Just to pile on for me a little more, in the 8th inning, he challenges a pitch that's clearly a strike.
Oh, man.
And wipes your team out of challenges.
Oh, that was bad.
He can't do anything to help you. He then strikes out looking to go to 0 for 32. Jackson Merrill does homer in the 9th. But when it's over, the new minor leaguer, Jace Bowen, strikes out, making it all 3 games that ended in this series with one of your new minor leaguers striking out. Bowen struck out to end the 1st and the 3rd game, and Samad Taylor struck out to end the game yesterday.
I would have.
That was my final note of disgust at the very end.
We're going to talk more about this on the other side. Daily Gambit next.
97.3 The Fan. Again, we congratulate Tony's daughter, Michaela. She's graduating high school today. Of course, Proud Pops is there. We are here, Skraby and I, in the Bill Howe Studios, where we know how. All guests on the program will join on the SDCCU fan hotline. Not big bank banking, it's better. And we will have a guest in Sam Dykstra from MILB.com. He'll drop a bunch of knowledge on us. At the bottom of this hour, we'll get his take on Ethan Salas. Freddie Fermin, if he didn't reach rock bottom today, I don't know what rock bottom could be. So,
as a guy who's hit rock bottom,
you've been there. Wait, you saw him there today?
I saw him there today.
Yeah, he was there. This is not. It sounds like we're just totally picking on him and blame. I'm not picking. I'm just saying what happened. I really am. I'm just telling you what happened. I don't know how long they can go with that. 4 hits today. They did score 4 runs, but it wasn't enough as they fell to the Phillies 6-4. The last time, you ready for this, Scrabe?
Let's hear it.
Today is June 4th.
Okay.
Tomorrow will be June 5th.
I think so.
Yes?
Yes.
Tomorrow will be the 1-month anniversary of the last time the Padres had more than 10 hits in a game. It has been a month. You have to go back to the game. They beat the Giants on May 5th. I think it was up there.
Yes.
They won 10-5. They had 14 hits. That was May 5th. They've had 10 has been the high water mark since, and they've only done that a couple of times. But they haven't been over 10 in a month. That's what I'm saying. It's not to try to get a guy fired or even ask for his firing. I'm just talking about it out loud. I mean, are you going to just ride this out? But everybody's not hitting. So, again, the Phillies have turned their season around with a different voice. Nobody's saying Don Mattingly did anything special. I mean, I think Mattingly's a good manager. But I also thought Rob Thompson was a good manager. He'd been to the World Series, the whole thing. They needed a new voice. It's worked. I'm not going to even say, but we need a new voice. I guess I just did say it. I know.
Yeah, I don't know. I see the calls for
I know
Craig
everybody
Stammen
wants.
to get fired.
I know everybody wants everybody
to get fired.
Everybody wants everybody
fired.
Right now.
He should be fired.
I get it.
It's not going great.
I get it.
But
Everyone wants everybody fired right now.
But you do have to shake things up. I mean, this is a professional sports franchise. This is not a joke. Nick Castellanos,
Nick
sent him on his way.
He paid for it with his job.
And
Laureano has paid for it with his job for now.
Yeah.
Jake Cronenworth got the concussion, but they haven't been in a hurry to bring him back. Marquez, Matt Walden, you get the job done or you don't.
Yeah.
And clearly the Padres are not getting the job done.
Yeah.
All right, let's go into some other stuff. We had the NBA Finals, Game 1 last night. Get into a little more detail about that, but right now we're going to do our Daily Gambito.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. All right, we didn't have any bets for the last couple days, so we're just going to go right into bets for tonight.
If we had a bet yesterday and I said the over-under for Padres run scored against Christopher Sanchez was a half a run, would you have bet over?
Maybe in good faith, but
good faith,
but not in reality.
Right. They did break his streak.
They did.
They got the run. Jackson Merrill singled it in, and that ended it at 50 2/3 innings. That ovation. The Philly fans they get a lot of crap, and a lot of it they deserve.
I was going to say,
but they're also pretty intelligent baseball fans, I think, and I will never forget. 2 things. One, Tony Sr.'s last at bat there as a visiting player. I happened to be at the game for whatever reason. And I had tears in my eyes. The ovation that he got from the Philadelphia fans just for what he had done in his career was incredible. And then we've played the moment before when Tony Jr., our guy, came up after the death of his father, and the ovation he got from the Philly faithful that day.
My eyes got a little watery when I watched that one.
Yeah, there's no way to watch it without. Tony said his eyes were watery when he swung at the pitch. And was just happy imagine. He just said he was happy to ground out and get out of there. But yeah, the Philly fans, Sanchez deserved that standing ovation. 51 innings basically without giving up a run is, insane. And so the Padres snapped that, but they have not yet snapped their losing ways. Tonight, the Dodgers will try to go 8 games ahead of the Padres, which is crazy when you consider 2 weeks ago, the Padres were ahead of them.
Yeah.
Dodgers are 1.5 at Arizona tonight.
Dodgers and Dodgers fans do not have to be concerned about the Dodgers being passed by the Padres because we have proven in the last 2 years, even if they catch them, they're not going to.
Right, we don't want to pass the Dodgers. Yeah, we're not comfortable apparently.
Sorry, it was Dodgers 1.5?
Dodgers 1.5. They've been rolling. I think they've won. I think the Diamondbacks have lost 5 in a row. So after they had won 5 in a row, I guess 2 in a row. Okay, it's a 4-game series. The Diamondbacks did win the first one. Dodgers won the next 2.
But they've lost games recently.
Diamondbacks, yes.
I'm going to go Dodgers.
You're going to go LAD.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what do I root for? If Arizona wins, they go ahead of the Padres alone into second place.
But I think you give the team with a 9-game cushion or whatever they have, let them win.
I'm going to take Arizona and hope the Padres can close the gap. Who pitches longer? Justin Robleski of the Dodgers or Ryan Nelson of the Diamondbacks?
Robleski has been awesome.
He's been really good, and they've needed him.
Who pitches longer?
Starting to pitch a little better quietly is our guy Sasaki. Just quietly. He's not going gangbusters yet.
Yeah.
He's starting to get some better outings. Just, kind of worries me a little.
I've stopped trying to check in on him to see the bad stats because they're starting to become good.
They're starting to become a little better. Yeah.
I'm going to go with Robleski.
Yeah, he's probably who you should go with here. I'll take Ryan Nelson in a surprise. Maybe the Dodgers just chill out tonight. Chris Sale, 7.5 strikeouts against Toronto. Over, under. Braves continue to roll. You're talking about a team. Where were they last year? They finished behind the Marlins.
They were awful last year.
But they had every injury known to man.
That and suspensions.
Yeah, this year they're 42-20. They are 2 games clear of the Dodgers for the best record in the big leagues. Toronto, which was in the World Series last year, is in 4th place, 4 games under 500. I remind everybody that because as bad as the world seems for the Padres right now, look at the Blue Jays, right? They're in the World Series. Look at the Tigers who won been going great the last 2 years. They're 13 games under 500. Ugh. The Astros are 7 games under 500. The Mets are 8 games under 500. The Cubs have gone 5-18 in their last bunch of games.
Yeah.
So in the category of misery loves company, we have plenty of company. I will say that.
I do think the Padres is the best of the bad offenses right now.
I hope you're right. Sale's probably going to go over. He seems to do that regularly. 7.5 strikeouts. All right, let's get into the Stanley Cup Game 2. The old must-win for Carolina tonight. They're down 1-0 after blowing Game 1 at home to suddenly red-hot Vegas. Carolina's favored by 1.5 goals here to even the series. Skraby.
I'm going to stick with the better team winning the series.
Okay.
So I'll say Carolina evens it up.
Carolina really, I don't know where they were, but I guess, what their defenseman said after the game, that he just took a little break on the winning goal.
Still can't believe
that one. So you know what? Just for that, I'm taking Vegas.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
I'm taking Vegas. They swept Colorado. They're kind of like the Knicks. I mean, they're just hot.
Can you imagine if Manny did what that defenseman did? Where they asked him after the game, so what happened? I just didn't really care.
Well, those first 2 at bats today?
Didn't really want to do them, so.
I was tired, man. I couldn't get the bat off my shoulder at all. I don't know what happened.
Imagine that.
I mean, yeah, the guy just admitted that he just took a break. 5.5 goals tonight. I think it's going to be under. I think it'll be a 3-2 game. I'll say under.
I guess I'll go over.
Over? That's probably the smarter move. French Open semifinals tomorrow. Zverev, the number 2 seed, is trying to win his first ever Grand Slam. He's been to the semifinals like 15 times of a Grand Slam, but he always loses to either Alcaraz or Sinner. Well, they're both out of it. So this is his big chance to break through. He's taking on the 26 seed Mensik. I don't know a bunch about him other than that he's playing obviously well to get to the semifinals. But you're up?
Is there a spread on this?
Yes, 5.5 games for Zverev. Zverev.
I'm going to go Mensik.
You're going to say Mensik makes it rough on Zverev.
Yep.
I'll take Zverev. He's got to rise to the occasion here. Tonight, game 2 of the College Softball World Series, Texas or Texas Tech. Texas took game 1 last night, 7-3. This is a rematch of last year's finals. Texas Tech has had a little magic. I'll take them tonight to even the series.
They have had a little magic. I didn't realize the other night Texas Tech wins, and then they had to immediately play another game. I didn't realize they were in the losers bracket.
They were in the losers bracket, so they had to beat the other team twice to advance.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it because both the same starting pitchers pitched.
Yeah, softball's weird.
That is weird.
Yeah, you can pitch all day and all night long. The Texas Tech pitcher, the young lady there, Canady is her name, I think, something like
48% of her at-bats are strikeouts.
Right, but she also makes $1 million. Remember that story came down last year?
I mean,
she's $1 million softball player. She's not the best. The Texas pitcher's better than she is.
Really?
Yeah, and that's why Texas has won the last 2 years. But I'll take Texas Tech tonight in a bit of an upset.
I cannot stand the Longhorns.
The Hook'em Horns. Would you rather do who you rooting for? This or this? You don't like either of them.
I think I have to go with the frog of TCU.
Well, they're not playing tonight. You either go guns up or you go Hook'em Horns.
I see what you're doing. I'd rather do
guns up for Texas Tech.
Yeah, guns up.
Guns up, he says.
I'm surprised they are still allowed to say that, to be honest.
Yeah. What are they going to do?
For the record, I don't have a problem with it, okay?
The NCAA and its infinite wisdom in, all of the other dumb rules they've made are going to prohibit Texas Tech fans from saying guns up. I'd like to see how that goes over.
It won't. Go well.
WNBA tonight, Indiana at home, 1.5 over Atlanta. I believe this is a Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese matchup, which always brings out the worst in people, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is, but you're either all in on Caitlin Clark and people don't just kind of dislike Angel Reese. They out and out hate her, and she seems to not mind that. And on the other side, a lot of people love Angel Reese and out hate Caitlin Clark. Hate is a really mean. I shouldn't say that word.
Dislike.
But it's a strong dislike for both of these players. But if you look at Angel Reese, her shoe came out a couple years ago. It sold out in like 5 minutes.
That is true.
She's an incredibly popular player for many people. But there's so many people who just, and then Caitlin Clark, we already know how her story's going. After all that, who are you picking? Indiana at home or Atlanta? Indiana's giving 1.5 here.
I'll go Indiana.
Angel Reese lives for moments like this. Going on the road.
ATL?
Yeah, I'll take ATL. Caitlin Clark, 19.5 points is her over-under. She's got to go over because she's matched up against Angel Reese. She'll be fired up tonight.
I'll go under just to play the contrarian.
Just for fun. Caitlin Clark, just to finish up the Angel Clark, Caitlin Clark thing.
Is that it for bets?
Yeah, that's it for bets. Angel Reese, she I think kind of embraces the villainous role a little, and I think
Dylan the Villain when he just introduces himself now as the villain.
Yeah, Angel Reese, I think kind of, look, I was never a fan of her trolling Caitlin Clark in that play in the championship playoff. I didn't think that was too classy at all.
Like pointing at your ring finger.
I was never a fan of that. I tried to kind of, get past it. But there's been a lot of things that Angel Reese has done that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But I understand, how many people love her, and I, respect what she's been able to build, her brand, and she's done an amazing job. You can't take that away from this young lady. On the other side, Caitlin Clark, I don't think she necessarily embraces the villain, but she is the villain. And she, in my mind, brings a lot of it on herself.
How so?
Because she antagonizes, trash talks, and then runs the other way. That's her way. Her way is to do something when nobody's looking, and as soon as everybody's looking, put her palms up and say, "What, me?" And I don't care for that at all. I'm not a fan of the people who absolutely despise her. I'm also not a fan of the Indiana Fever in general, who have now started to take away credentials of writers covering the team if they write something negative about Caitlin Clark.
Okay, that's not okay.
Okay, that's happening. So you know it, okay? I don't know the guy's name from the Indianapolis newspaper. His credential was revoked.
Well, that was because he also made a strange comment to Caitlin Clark.
No, that was Greg Doyle. That's a totally different guy.
Okay, all right.
This is a different thing.
Okay.
Totally different situation. This guy wrote about her sitting out the game a couple weeks ago with no notice. Remember, they didn't even mention her on the injury report, and he explored that story. They took his credential away. The WNBA, just honestly, if you want to be in the big leagues, you have to be able to handle that kind of stuff. You just do. I'm not saying reporters are right or wrong or indifferent all the time. Radio people say crazy things, TV, broadcasters, but a lot of it can be criticism and a lot of it can be negative. You got to have big enough shoulders to take it. The WNBA wants to be up there.
Yeah.
And I want them to be up there.
Yeah.
Then stop looking like a Mickey Mouse league and stop taking a guy's credential away because he says one thing you don't like. That doesn't work.
That does not work.
So there's
all
that.
All that does is get everybody angry at you.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people are not happy, but this story's kind of gone under the radar
haven't even
a little.
Seen this, yeah.
Well, I saw Christine Brennan tweeting out about it, and a lot of people, kind of giving it the old, it's time to boycott the Indiana Fever until they figure out that how to handle things correctly.
Seriously.
Stick up for our own people in journalism. And I can't disagree with that. Journalists are not there to only glad hand the team. It's part of what they do. But if there's a story that needs to be told, that's their job to tell it. And it's your job as the team, even if you have a little egg on your face, to say, yeah, we got egg on our face. You don't have the right to take that credential away. You absolutely do not.
I've always been taught here on the radio, if we talk about things that happen on the field and stats that, that's fair. We just can't be personal. So if that person was personal, then that's one thing. But if not, you cannot just take someone's credential away because they said something bad about your team.
The whole thing, I don't remember the whole story, but I know that Caitlin Clark was not on the injury report, blah, blah, blah. They sat her out. The coach said one thing. The executive said another thing. Caitlin Clark said a third thing. It looked bad. It wasn't, Caitlin Clark is kind of the draw.
Yeah.
So if you're going to take her out of a game, it's going to make some news.
People are going to be like, why is she coming out of this game?
It's just going to make news.
It's not like this is happening in private.
Yeah. And again, you want the big stage. You want ESPN showing your games in prime time and ABC, and you want people talking about you on a national level. Then you got to take some of the heat. More Gwynn and Chris coming up. Traffic is involved in this somewhere?
Yes, right now.
Okay. So last night, the bus was to leave for the airport at 8 p.m. And Tony, you know this. Everybody knows this. If you're hooked up with anything like this, as Pete Carroll used to say, on time means you're late.
Right.
So Amy's the young lady who handles all the travel and puts together the itinerary. So we're just about ready to leave.
TJ Lucida.
She stands up as the bus is kind of rumbling to life. And she goes, okay, everybody get your passports out. I want to make sure nobody leaves without their passport. Because, again, you are talking
You are talking to college kids here, and you don't want
college
them
kids,
to,
huh?
That's who she thought she was talking to.
She thought she. So I'm sitting there, and I'm thinking to my head, like, you don't need a passport for this trip. I didn't even bring one. We're just going to the Bahamas. And so, yeah.
That was your thought process? The Bahamas are an international flight, I believe.
This is almost equal to the fact that North Dakota borders Canada.
I think it does equal that, Skraby.
Actually, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, I forgot about it too, buddy.
Right, so for whatever reason, I did not bring my passport. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, my stomach, you have your sinking feeling. And I'm like, what? Never do that. Yeah, thank you. And I was like, oh no, I don't have my passport. Here's my second thought, guys. If I just quietly call Lori, because the flight wasn't until 10 o'clock. You got some extra time. So I said, if I call Lori and just have her bring my passport down to the airport, I'll be able to get away with this without everybody knowing that I blew it. Because that isn't a factor here. You don't want to be embarrassed. So she's in the back checking the players, passport situation out. And I'm having this argument with myself. Oh no, what do I do? And so my first thing is I'll call Lori and I'll just say, hey, can you, I blew it. I forgot my passport. Can you meet me down at the airport? And then I thought, we live 25 minutes from the airport. Lori is not going to be happy.
Nope.
Getting my passport and driving it down there.
Because the airport is really easy to access these days.
And never easy to access, exactly. So I had a quick discussion with myself, and it was either A, it's time for me to embarrass myself in front of the team, or I'm going to have to ask Lori to drive to the airport. I chose the first one. So I said, oh my goodness, I can't believe I forgot my passport. I don't have it. And Stacey Terry Hudson looked at me and like, what? Like you? I mean, she wasn't mean about it. She was just like so surprised. And as I was, and everybody's like, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I live, literally 10 minutes from the school. And I said, I'm going to call Lori right now. Is there any way we can just hold up for 10 minutes?
What?
That's all. It was either that or make Lori drive down, Skrabe. You got to understand my options here. They're very limited.
I get it, but I think your mistake means that you have to
do the hard one.
Yeah, you have to deal with the hard part.
I agree. Well, this didn't turn out a whole lot better. Amy, it's her first year on the job, but she's a very nice gal, so I don't have any really, I don't have any cachet with her yet. And she's like, looking at her watch, looking at Coach Stacey Terry. She's like, 10 minutes, because that can be a little...
That's stressful.
Well, it's stressful. And she doesn't care. Her job is to get everybody on that damn plane.
Right. And a lot of times what we don't know, the traveling party doesn't know, is they've already called ahead and talked. They have a travel agent that's going to kind of expedite the process a little bit. And if they mess up that contact, then everybody's messed up.
So everything is thrown asunder if you got to wait 10 minutes. And but I'm on the phone with Lori, and Lori's like, well, I'm not going to the airport. There's no way. She's like, you tell them that I'll be there in 10 minutes.
You tell them.
And I will give Lori a lot of credit. She, while this discussion was going on, found the passport and was already in the car.
Whoa.
So I give her a ton of credit. She didn't wait for... okay, go get the passport and hurry up.
Because she knew she wasn't going to the airport. So
she knew she wasn't going to the airport. Exactly, Tony.
She's like, I'm in the car.
She did. She said, I'm in the car. So I told, Amy, and I got Lori on the phone. I'm telling Amy and Coach, I'm like, she's on her way. And I said, I drive this all the time. It really is 10 minutes. And they're like, all right, 10 minutes. So last night, the bus was to leave for the airport at 8 p.m., and Tony, you know this. Everybody knows this. If you're hooked up with anything like this, as Pete Carroll used to say, on time means you're late.
Right.
So Amy's the young lady who handles all the travel and puts together the itinerary. So we're just about ready to leave.
TJ Lacita.
She stands up as the bus is kind of rumbling to life. And she goes, okay. everybody get your passports out. I want to make sure nobody leaves without their passport because, again, you are talking to college kids here, and you don't want
college kids, huh?
That's what she thought she was talking to.
She thought she. So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking to my head, like, you don't need a passport for this trip. I didn't even bring one. We're just going to the Bahamas. And so, yeah.
That was your thought process? The Bahamas are an international flight, I believe.
This is almost equal to the fact that North Dakota borders Canada.
Yeah, I think it does equal that scrape.
Crisello, Matt Skraby today. Bill House Studios, we know how. Tony Gwynn Jr. attending a life moment today, the graduation of his daughter from high school. Wishing everybody in the Gwynn family a fun day today.
Wow.
Pickles? Are there any pickles on hand?
Pickles?
Yeah, Padres are heading home. Tail between legs. 5-game losing streak, 11-14. 6-4 the final if you just tuned in. Phillies with the win. Top guys to blame today. Adrian Morejon, terrible relief performance. Sorry, Freddie Fermin, low-hanging fruit. I don't know. I guess there's just everybody else gets a little bit of it. I was going to say Manny, but he hit a home run. It's just funny. Though. Everybody's going to go, Manny hit a home run. Yeah, but God, it was a weird day for him. Speaking of home runs, Skraby, I want to talk about the NBA Finals, but probably going to push this back a little bit on that. It was a great win by the Knicks last night. I did not see that coming. And look, I mean, they're riding a great streak, just like Vegas is doing in the hockey. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. But did you see today Eric Haas, who's a backup catcher, I believe, for the Giants, hit a grand slam against the Brew Crew today. Giants win 12-9. You ready for this stat? This is going to blow you away, I think.
I love random stats.
This is random. The Giants have hit 5. This is the Giants, by the way, who are one of the worst hitting teams in baseball. They're down there in Padre land.
Yes.
The Giants have hit 5 grand slams in the last 17 games. In 2.5 weeks, they've hit 5 grand slams. The Giants
have. It's been years since the Padres hit a grand slam. I know it happened earlier this year.
They do have one. It was Xander Bogaerts and the walk-off extra inning win over the Rockies. There are 7 teams that don't have any. The Giants have 5 grand slams in 17 days.
That's crazy. And they've been so bad at the plate that it makes the Padres look good at the plate.
Yeah, the Giants are, in general, worse than the Padres. Do I dare say, without getting the ire of everyone listening, you have to start making shirts that say Slam Francisco.
No, don't do that. If they hit, what was it, like 5 grand slams in 5 straight days?
I think we had 4 in 4 days, something like that. That is crazy. But yeah.
If anybody beats that, then sure.
Slam Francisco. 5 grand slams in the last 17 days for the Gigantes. So that was something of note that happened today. Also want to mention, this is a big story that might be starting to percolate in the Big Apple. Your friend Aaron Judge, all rise, sitting out again today, 3rd consecutive day with a bone bruise. Yankees aren't saying much, which is not surprising, right? Teams kind of keep this stuff as quiet as they can, but you're in New York. You're not going to keep it that quiet, and everybody wants to know, when is Aaron Judge coming back? And he doesn't know. So
they're trying to rule out, which this sounds terrible, thoracic outlet syndrome, which that does not sound great.
Don't quite know what that is, but it can't be good.
Yeah, anytime it happens, they're gone for a while. So,
I mean, I'm just saying, and I'm not trying to. This isn't a shot at anyone in particular. This is just a throwing it out there. Would Jake Cronenworth be able to sit on the injured list with a concussion for a month and a half without that being a bigger deal if we were in New York City? I'm just asking. Jake Cronenworth is a pretty, even though he's having a bad year, I get it. He's a pretty integral part of this, franchise.
Yeah, you came into
and
the
he
year,
has been for 5-6 years now. And here's one of, our favorite sons, who's been out with a very concerning concussion that is now taking us into 5-6 weeks with no apparent, return date.
None.
And, I think Annie Heilbrunn was somebody, Annie's always on it. She had some shots of him out there playing some catch, I think, last week. And Craig Stammen gets asked about it, I guess, every week or two. And he just says, well, there's not much to say. And then we move on. Like, would that be I'm just asking. I don't know. Maybe it wouldn't be as big a deal, but it seems like it would. Like, if Aaron Judge doesn't play for another 3 or 4 days, they're going to lose their mind over there.
Well, if this was like Fernando, it's hard to say all this because they're not producing.
Yeah.
But I would think if Jake was in New York, I don't know that it would be that big of a deal because he's not Aaron Judge.
Yeah, but if he was a Yankee, he'd still be a Yankee.
He would still be a Yankee.
He's an integral part of this team.
Yes.
Whether you want to admit it or not.
He is.
He's one of the faces of this franchise.
Yeah.
But we haven't seen him for over a month now.
I also think he's gotten some short end of the stick type of things for his seasons past. I don't think he's been as terrible as people think, but he was not good this year when he was playing.
I guarantee you, Jake somewhere somehow is like, I have not only got to get past this, but I got to get back in there and start, putting some numbers on my roster here. I can't go through this season at 149.
No, it's got to be stressful.
Yeah, he can't be loving that at all.
I did read an update on Joe Musgrove and Nick Pivetta today, and it was that they are starting to throw more, but we won't see them until second half of the year, which has been the news forever.
Yeah, the pitching seems to be the least of our worries, although I did say that earlier the bullpen stunk in this series against the Phillies and could take credit or a hand in all 3 losses.
By the way, Strasburg and Zach Wheeler both had thoracic outlet syndrome, so it's serious.
They were gone. Actually, Strasburg never came back.
He never came back. This is the injury that Zach Wheeler was dealing with last year in August through this year.
Manny Machado, in addition to what you read earlier, said, I don't know how many times I've got to talk about it. We want to win. We've got to get a bleeping hit.
You'll have to talk about it until you hit.
A bleeping hit. Manny's frustration is getting there as well.
And I'm happy about that. I want to see him angry. I want to see some sort of emotion that we all share out here. And I'm telling you, Chris, when I saw him hitting that bat on his helmet last night, it's like that is the most emotion I have seen from Manny after a strikeout, I think, in his time in San Diego.
Manny finished up by saying, I don't think it can get worse. I mean, there's only one way. Up.
We keep saying it can't get worse, and then it gets worse. You know what's worse, Chris? Going under 500.
I thought they were going to get no hit today. I really did. I thought this is going to be the one thing that hasn't happened yet. And, that lasted for a while.
Don't think it didn't cross my mind.
Yeah, no kidding. More Gwynn and Chris coming up. We'll talk about Jace Bowen and Samad Taylor and where is Ethan Salas and Sam Dykstra, MILB.com.
From the first pitch of the year to the biggest games.
Phillies, they decided, hey, enough's enough with what we have. Time to dip into our minor league system and see if we have anything there. And Laureano was quickly shipped to the IL. Castellanos was shipped out. And the Padres got swept in Philadelphia anyway. We welcome you back to Gwynn and Chris. But I think a pretty good time to talk with our MILB, minor league baseball insider, Sam Dykstra, joins us here on 97.3 The Fan. And Sam, always good to have you with us. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Well, not great, honestly.
Yeah, we've been better.
We've been better.
The wrong time to ask. I'm sorry.
Teams dropped. Sorry. Yeah, right. We've dropped 11-14, and a lot of it's our fault if you read the tweets and things that we get. Sam, I'm going to throw a kind of a general question out first. We'll get a little more specific after. But a lot of people, pundits, said, the Padres made a lot of trades here the last 2 or 3 years, and in doing so, they have severely, weakened their minor league system. They don't have the depth of talent anymore, et cetera, et cetera. I think a lot of us kind of say, well, so be it. We've got all these great players to show for it. And that's, but now the Padres kind of need something from the minor leagues, and you wonder if it's there. So let me ask you just a general thought. Do you believe that, in doing what they did, that the minor league system was depleted?
I mean, yeah, we did our farm system rankings beginning of the year. We had the Padres 30th. I know that was not seen greatly within the organization. I had people within the organization being like, really? You think we're 30th? And, you trade away Leo DeVries. You have Ethan Salas, who beginning of the year was coming off a major back injury, hadn't really, produced in 2 years. There wasn't a star. There wasn't really depth. A lot of this organization have been backfilled by international signings and even guys from last year's draft who had major question marks. Now, one thing the Padres will always tell you, if you ever ask, they believe they have the prospects in the system that they can develop, that they can get to the next level.
Yes.
We're seeing some of that, getting the Jace Bowens of the world, right? Like getting him on a minor league deal, turning him into a major leaguer, something the Pirates couldn't do for 6 years. That's promising, but it's still, outside a handful of names that I'm sure we're going to talk about here, there's not really many guys knocking on the door ready to help.
It also seems like the names that you would talk about are all arms. And right now they don't necessarily need arms. Sam, let me ask you about Jace Bowen and Samad Taylor. Just your first thoughts. Taylor has had a little major league experience. Was with the Royals a couple of years ago. Went, I think, 12 for 60, had 8 stolen bases, which is promising. Had a cup of coffee with the White Sox before coming to the Padres. Jace Bowen, you talked about and mentioned him. The Pirates couldn't do much with him. This guy went all the way down to the Australian Baseball League in 2023, trying to kind of work his way back from there. It's taken him 8 years to get to the majors, or 7. So what kind of prospects are these two guys really? And, should we be hinging any hopes to them?
Yeah, I don't know how many hopes I would be hinging to both of these guys. I mean, they're both certainly on the older side. Jace Bowen is still prospect eligible for us. Samad Taylor, I feel like, graduated a few years ago, has mostly been kind of a speed guy throughout his time in the minor leagues. A couple seasons in there with 50, 40 stolen bases. I think that's basically where he's going to help. Bowen's an interesting one because at El Paso, and I know, the Pacific Coast League, there can be some crazy power numbers coming out of there, especially El Paso and Albuquerque and et cetera, et cetera. But the exit velocities were certainly there for Jace Bowen, and the Padres really liked his defense. He could run, he could throw, he could tick 4 of the 5 boxes, really. It was the big question of he was super aggressive. He swung a lot, and we're starting to see that now and get punished for that in his first MLB looks. I think he's 1 for 8 with 5 strikeouts. Major league pitchers are going to take advantage of that aggression. Now, I think he can certainly do more things defensively than a Nick Castellanos could, and he's going to help out in those ways, and the speed is going to certainly be an advantage and something he can do in Samad Taylor the same way. But I don't think these guys are being brought up to raise the average of the offense. I think they're more supplemental pieces.
Talking to Sam Dykstra, MILB.com here on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. Chris is going to ask you specifically about Ethan Salas in just a second, but I just wanted to get your thoughts. You may not even have an answer on this. When guys get pulled up from the minors to the majors, making their debut, and they struggle, do you think that is something that teams are worried about, or is that just something that fans make up in their head, that they're going to go down a path and they're going to be, not be able to recover from a poor start to their career?
Yeah, I don't think teams are that worried about it. Again, there's just like so much data going on now, and at the AAA level, at basically every level of minor league baseball, you're bringing up a guy knowing what he's capable of. Now, I will say the gap between AAA and the majors is, I think, larger than it used to be. There used to be a lot more 29, 30-year-old journeyman quad A players at AAA. It's not quite that anymore. It's a lot younger. So you're going from facing 24, 25-year-olds to facing those veteran types who can get you out multiple ways. I think you're seeing a lot more guys struggle early on. I mean, I think back to a few years ago, Bobby Witt Jr. really struggled out of the gate. Adley Rutschman really struggled out of the gate. Julio Rodriguez. Now these guys are, in Witt's case, certainly a superstar. J-Rod, certainly a superstar. So I think teams are willing to give a little bit more space for that. Now, it's more difficult to swallow when you're the Padres and you're trying to stay afloat in the NL West, but I don't think teams call these guys up expecting them to hit the ground running immediately.
Sam, Skraby and I were talking, and he actually had a good line, which I'll share with everybody listening.
He actually had a good line?
Yes, you did. You said that Freddie Fermin may force Ethan Salas to be called up. And you're referring to a guy that's 0 for 32, and we've gone back and forth. So kind of piggybacking a little on, what Skraby said, because the Padres keep saying, hey, he's ready defensively. We are worried maybe catching late in a ball game if he's up for all that. We don't want him to struggle at the plate. But when do you have to just cut the cord and take your shot, Sam?
I don't. That's a great question. And with Ethan Salas, I mean, listen, he's certainly back on the up and up. He's hitting the ball hard. He's hitting the ball a lot in the zone. Those are skills that translate well to the major leagues. I still want him seeing El Paso first. I get it. Like, the Padres have done this in the past. They call guys up from AA. AJ Preller is willing to be aggressive. They had Salas around in spring training a lot on the major league side, so he's not going to go into that clubhouse and be amazed by who's in there. I think he would feel comfortable from a personality standpoint. But given, again, like we're now at 2 months of performance for somebody who barely played. He played 10 games last year, was not very good at high A 2 years ago. I just want to see him absolutely knock down the door. I know it's fun to look at, what position he is and where they're struggling most offensively and just say, like, just send him out there. But this is a guy they believe can be a franchise cornerstone for them. And I do think there is something to be said for sending a guy up early and having him struggle. Now, if he struggles for 2 weeks, not that big of a deal. If he struggles for 2 months, all right, that's a bit more worrisome. I want him absolutely banging down the door and establishing more production given what his resume has been to this point.
Talking to Sam Dykstra, MILB.com on the SDCCU fan hotline. I think we need to listen to Sam, Chris, about this.
I am listening to Sam. That's why I asked him.
He's the voice of reason, because I've been kind of like, I don't know about this. Everybody wants him up there. I get why everybody wants him up there, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Otherwise, in their minor league system, Cruz Schoolcraft still doing some things. Who is their, in your mind, number one prospect right now?
I mean, it's certainly Salas. Without a doubt.
Yeah, that was a bad question. Other than Ethan Salas, who is your number?
Who's their number two?
Yeah.
No, I think that's one that I'm banging around myself when I knew I was going to be talking to you guys. I was trying to think, like, if I were to reorder the list right now, because I think Cruz Schoolcraft, we still have in the top 100. I think he's certainly slipping out of that. The control is not that what anybody expected coming out of the gate. He's only 19 years old, and actually he had to start the other day in which faced 18 batters, struck out 9 of them. So you can see the promising pieces there, and the velocity is there. The changeup's really good. I know he's been working on the slider a lot, trying to find something consistent with a breaking ball and using single A Lake Elsinore as a development stop, which is what you want. You want these guys figuring stuff out now so they're more finished products by the time they get to the upper levels. So I'm not overly worried about him. I wouldn't kick him down to like 7 or 8 yet. But you look at Cash Mayfield, who is performing just as well as he did last year. Velocity's still not quite there with the fastball, but the actual ride, I was talking to a source about this, is about an inch and a half better this year. So he's getting more ride on the fastball. He's always had a really, really special changeup, getting a ton of whiff on that. The slider's playing pretty well. I think I would give him the leg up on Schoolcraft and Mendez. Miguel Mendez, like, I think he's somebody who certainly could pitch for the Padres at some point this season. In what role, TBD, because he's on the 40-man, but fastball sitting 96, 99 again. Like, it's certainly there. He's getting a ton of whiff on the slider and the changeup. I just think Mayfield has that right package of he can work you top of the zone, he can work you bottom of the zone. He's got the changeup, so he can be a little bit more split resistant. It was a close call between Mendez and Mayfield on the preseason list. I think Mayfield's jumped above him just because handedness, youth, and the trajectory that he's currently on.
Sam Dykstra makes me feel smart after I interview him, on all these guys. Like, ask me anything now, and I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Cruz Schoolcraft, he's got control problems.
He's had some problems, yeah. Sam, before I let you go, and this is a little bit of a curve that you may not have been expecting, but I'm going to trust you can hit it. There were some reports, and we're grasping now because the team is doing so badly. There's some people say that Mason Miller ought to be traded to the Yankees, and that there's some talk about this, and it would be like a 4 or 5 player package. And a part of that package the Yankees could offer would include a 21-year-old outfielder, George Lombard Jr., I believe. I'm looking at some of his numbers. He had a great AA and got promoted to AAA where he's hitting 196. Jason Dominguez is another guy in this name. This is all speculation at this point, but are these the kind of names that should intrigue us if there was really something like this afoot?
I mean, listen, I live in New York, so it almost sounds like you guys have gotten this from New York. Like, this is something the Yankees media that I'm surrounded by is like, oh, yeah, we're just going to get Mason Miller.
Yeah, I know.
First it's Fernando, then it became Mason Miller.
Yeah, Mason Miller's the latest, so yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yes, if they were to pull off a trade like that, George Lombard Jr., who is an infielder, is actually a really good defender at shortstop, but has had to move around to third base and second base because he's on the AAA roster with Anthony Volpe, and they're really trying to make shortstop happen for Anthony Volpe. But he's a gifted defender. The exit velocities have been there for him in the past. There's some intrigue there for sure. He's always somebody who has gotten promoted pretty aggressively and then struggles for a bit and takes a while to catch up to the level. Kind of like the Padres MO, to be honest. But like, could he be the long-term solution, to take the job away from Xander Bogaerts? Maybe. Is that worth trading the best reliever in the world? No. I mean, the Yankees have some interesting pieces. It would have to take them doing essentially what the Padres did last year, emptying out the cupboard to get Mason Miller. And I just wouldn't do that. Like, I know it's a rough stretch right now, but like, one of the wild card spots is certainly gettable. And if you have a 6-7 headed monster like their bullpen in October and November, that's going to give you a chance. I wouldn't blow that up for much less than a top 5 prospect.
Yeah, well, like I said, you lose a couple more games, they'll be ready to ship anybody out of here. Sam, as always, great talking to you. Thanks for great insight on some of these young guys, and we'll hope that they can come home on their first homestand and flourish a little bit. And we'll catch up with you down the road. Appreciate all your intel.
All right. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
He is the guy right there. And you can read his stuff on MILB.com. If you are one of those prospect people, Sam Dykstra's got to be like on a bookmark. So, he's got the stuff. And
I do visit his page quite often.
Right. He just proved it. You ask him about George Lombard, he's giving you the whole story.
I didn't know he lived in New York, though. It's good to know.
Yep, that is. I referenced that trade. It was Chris Rose, who's an MLB podcaster, ex-MLB network guy.
Yeah.
And he's just throwing, I don't know where he comes up with this, but he's
I'm not as mad about this because Chris Rose isn't a guy who usually just throws things out.
Yes, he is.
No, well, maybe
he had Fernando being traded a couple of weeks ago.
No, that was Harold Reynolds.
Oh, that was Harold. Well, anyway, Chris Rose is reporting that there's some talk right now. You can believe as much as this as you want, but Mason Miller would go to the Yankees. And Lombard, Jason Dominguez would be 2 of the prospects coming back. And then a couple of active relievers right now. I think Camilo Duvall.
Yeah. Oh, gosh, no.
Yeah, and Will Warren. And then one other guy.
Well, Camilo Duvall cannot find the plate for weeks at a time.
There's a 5th name in there, but it wasn't anybody.
Aaron Judge?
Yeah, that's yes, a broken
Do the deal right now.
A broken down Aaron Judge, yes, is the fifth guy. Trent Grisham might be headed back our way.
You know what? I don't think people would be too mad about that.
Chris Rose, give me a break. I love these just outlandish trades people throw out. Clickbait.
You know what, Chris?
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should do a countdown one day. Our top 5 crazy trades that we want to see happen.
Outlandish trades? Yeah, we could just make up anything we want, like the rest of these guys
Let's do that tomorrow.
I'm hearing some things about, Xander. Yeah, I gotta tell you. Oh, yeah. It's so big, I don't even know if we can do Chris versus the fans.
Jeez.
But we will anyway, next. Tony, you care to,
Tony, I don't know where Tony went.
Because Tony
I see the corner of his room.
Oh, well, hopefully he'll be back shortly. Harbaugh.
I'm not sure where he went. I might text him to see if he's okay here in a second.
Hope he didn't, yeah.
Did you think he fell in the shower or something?
I hope he didn't meet with foul play.
You think he met with foul play in our commercial break?
I don't know.
I mean, he is in New York City. So.
He's in New York City. It could be, you never know.
All right, we'll just go forward.
We're just going to go forward without Tony. I'm sure he'll rejoin us when he gets a moment.
Everybody stare at that box in the top right corner because it's just the corner of his room.
I'm going to look now. I'm kind of intrigued.
Oh, someone says maybe he's in the bathroom. I don't know.
He's been known to go there, as have all of us, frankly, but him more than most.
Over under, Tony just forgot that he was doing the show.
That's not nice. Yeah, so maybe that's what they're thinking.
You know what just hit me, Chris?
No.
What if Tony went out to get like ice or something and he forgot his room key?
That is something he is more than capable of doing.
Because he would never be gone this late. This long with knowing that he was on the show.
No kidding, man. We took a commercial break like 5 minutes ago and he has not returned.
I'm going to text him.
Like, are you out in the hall trying to get into your room right now?
Everything okay?
Oh no.
Question mark.
Scaring me. No. Did you hear back from Tony yet?
No, I'm thinking
something.
I'm thinking he locked himself out. He doesn't have his phone because it's in the room, so he's down at the front desk or something. I
don't know. I'm sure there's a story in here somewhere.
There's definitely got to be a
story.
Story. Anyway. I was very concerned about Tony, and I took him off the screen because he's not back. I guarantee you he got locked out of his room.
I don't think you're wrong because that makes sense. But how far away is the lobby? Of course, the New York hotel, it could be one of those ones where you got to wait a while to get up to the...
And he's just sitting in line. I don't know why I find this so funny, but it is.
Well, it's funny if he comes back with a funny story.
Yeah, like I locked myself out.
It's not funny if he fell and hit his head somewhere and we don't know where he is. That's not funny.
Of course, that's not funny.
He's obviously not with his phone because he hasn't gotten back to us.
Has Tony locked himself out before? Not during the show, but I'm sure he has at one point in his life.
Of all people, Tony would certainly seem to be one who would do it.
Oh, August also says, Clinton said, got to use the key card for the elevator too. So maybe he's just stuck.
You can't even get down? No, you don't need the key card to go down.
Okay.
You only need those to go up. You should be able to get down to the lobby to say, hey, I locked myself out. In New York City, but if we do, can you go to the Padre Hotel and knock on Tony's door? We don't know where he is still.
No,
still hasn't come back.
And I turned on
It's been 20 minutes now.
I know. Now I'm starting to get a little worried.
Yeah, where'd he go? What happened?
I don't know. I would call the front desk of the hotel, but I have no idea where they're staying.
I don't know where they're staying either. And when you sent him a text and said, is everything all right? We have not heard back from him. He is still not back in his room.
I bet you he is standing in line in the lobby as we speak.
I'm trying to get his key back.
Someone said text Jesse or Dave. And
it's really not a bad idea. Maybe at the next break, though.
Yes.
If we get to the next break, we got to text those guys so that they can go make sure he's okay. Because I don't know where he is. It's crazy.
Dave Marcus is probably the one to text.
We'll text Dave.
because he's Jesse could be doing anything, but Dave's always there ready to go.
You're trying to say Dave has a ho-hum life and he'd just be sitting around waiting for a text, whereas Jesse might be busy. Is that what you're...
Dave's been doing this job for like 30 years. I don't think the what is the word I'm looking for? Never mind.
All right. Well, there's certainly an explanation, but we don't have it yet.
Text Scan. I don't know Scan well enough to text him.
We're going to text Dave if this gets to the top of the hour, and we still don't have a Tony Gwynn Jr. sighting. All right, do we just go to traffic like it's normal behavior time? I mean, it just seems weird.
We got to move on with the show.
Show must go on?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, we're going to do the good, the bad, and the really, really weird and ugly next here after traffic. All right, it's with less enthusiasm than usual that we embark on the good, the bad, and the ugly for week 2, Skrabe.
I'm going to try not to worry too much.
I'm going to try not to worry also. I'm not necessarily the worrying type.
I'm not either.
But, I'm intrigued now at this point. Like it's with this long pass to Devontae Smith.
He's back!
Helped put him... Indeed, heading into the 4 o'clock hour. This is a full 4-hour show today, and then Skraby's going to kick me out.
That is not true.
Oh, you're not doing the...
No, I made a mistake, and I told everyone, and I feel really bad about it. I messed up my schedule. I told everyone on Monday we're going to have 2. There is no Skraby show tonight because I am dumb. So
no Skraby show.
I apologize.
Tonight. All right. I apologize. So we'll both leave at 6 o'clock then, and you'll have to make do without the extra hour of excitement.
Does
and
anybody really want to hear me talk an hour about how this team's great?
You've already been talking for 2 hours about it. So, what the hell? So have I. Phillies, if you're just tuned in, completed the 6-game sweep of the Padres. 6-4 was the final today. It was an especially bad outing, I thought, by Adrian Morejon, who walked the leadoff hitter. And by the time he was out of there, 3 clinching runs had been scored by the Phillies in the bottom of the 7th. That came right after Manny's 2-run lightning bolt home run had brought the Padres back into the game. Jackson Merrill hit a 2-run homer in the 9th, but it was too late to save the Padres from their 5th straight loss and 11th. In the last 14 games, once again, the offense was all but non-existent with 4 hits today. Padres have now gone exactly 1 month tomorrow without getting more than 10 hits in any game. So there's no other way to keep saying the same thing, right? The offense is struggling big time. So far, Jace Bowen, Samad Taylor have not been the answer. It's a little early. I know some people have been critical here and there. Bowen's already struck out 5 times in 8 at-bats, including for the final out today, making it all 3 games that the young guys from the minors struck out to
ironic.
End the ball game.
It's very ironic.
I just just turning the knife and, just making it gouging even deeper.
Let me ask you this, because on Monday night, Skraby show, I said, love me or hate me, I don't think they're going to win a game in Philly. Did you actually think they were going to win a game in Philly with the pitchers that they were facing?
Well, I don't really look at it that way. To me, when Sanchez went out of the game yesterday, it was 1-1, right?
Yeah.
When Wheeler went out of the game today, it was 3-2.
Yeah.
So, they certainly had a chance to. The starting pitchers were a bit daunting. They, had a chance to win all 3 games. So I didn't look at it that way. The way they're playing, though, did not allow them to win any of the 3 games.
Yeah.
And, on and on it goes. They committed a couple of errors today. They threw the ball around. They had a balk in there that almost contributed to some run scoring. And again, you had 1 at bat with a runner in scoring position the whole game. 1.
So I guess they weren't bad with runners in scoring position.
They were in the series, though. They had 1 hit in the entire series with a runner in scoring position. That was Jackson Merrill's hit off Sanchez yesterday.
Wow.
So, look, it's been a rough go. I picked on Manny, who looked really weird at the plate today, even though he did hit that home run. The rest of his, appearances were kind of strange. He took 7 of the first 8 pitches thrown to him and they were all strikes. Jackson got the home run. Bogarts went 0 for the series. And, this isn't to be too critical. Fernando was the only player, by the way, who did not strike out today, but he went 0 for 4. And at least to this point, is it fair to say that him breaking through with the home run on Saturday, at least yet, has not exactly opened up a floodgate of home runs for him?
No.
It's not like he's come right back and been bombing the ball all over. It's kind of been back to the same guy he was before that home run.
Is he's hitting over 270?
He's hitting 270, yes. He's having a hot streak, but the home run still, the one is still sitting alone on the mantle.
It is.
All right, we're going to go to some Chris versus the fans here. Chance to get away from the anguish of Padre baseball and have some fun playing a little trivia and give you a chance to win a really cool staycation that we will tell you about right now.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right, here's what you're playing for. You will be qualified for a chance to the grand prize, a 2-night stay at Town & Country Resort and a $250 food and beverage credit. Work on your resting vacation face this summer at Town & Country Resort. 3 pools and a 4-story water slide named Twister make Town & Country a family favorite. Rates start at $199 per night. Exclusively for fan listeners, visit towncountry.com/thefan to book now. towncountry.com/thefan now. And you'll have to, the rules, you have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get the question wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know before you get into it and you'll get that question for free today. We still have one line open for anyone who's never played.
Yes, you people who say, I can never get through.
Yes. It's right now. Go.
Well, either go now or forever hold. I have one quick note before we get to this because I wanted to say it for a couple days now. Tampa Bay Lightning used to have a coach named John Tortorella. He won the Stanley Cup in 2004.
Tortellini.
It's Tortorella. All right. Yeah. Sorry, Homer. He had 2004.
Thank you for recognizing.
You're right. 2004, he coached Tampa Bay to the Stanley Cup. 2 nights ago, he coached Las Vegas to their Game 1 victory in the finals. This is 2026. 22 years later, this guy, he had gone over 8,000 days between Stanley Cup wins. That's crazy. But here's what's crazier to me. Because we're kind of kicking around, should the Padres make a change somewhere? Do they need a different voice? Can anything, whatever. Do you know, because we don't follow hockey this crazy, do you know that John Tortorella took over the Vegas Golden Knights this year with 8 games left in the regular season?
I did not know that.
I didn't either. They fired their coach with 8 games to go in the regular season.
The heck?
And here's this guy who hasn't been to the Stanley Cup Finals for 22 years, comes in. They go 7-1 down the stretch, or 7-0-1 to make the playoffs. And now he's got them with the lead in the Stanley Cup Finals. It's not always crazy to pull the trigger on something, because you would have thought Las Vegas or Vegas, like, what are they doing? 8 games left. What's going to change? Something's changed.
I guess so.
Right?
I guess so. I mean, you can't argue with it. You can't argue with it.
No.
I think a lot of this is just the circumstance worked out. It's just a coincidence.
Maybe, yeah.
But,
and the guy that Vegas fired, his name is Bruce Cassidy. He won the Stanley Cup with them in 2023. Yet with 8 games to go this season, they fired him.
Man, what have you done for me lately?
And and Tortorella is in there, and he's in the finals, and he's got the lead. All right,
that's good.
That's
good.
Crazy.
That is crazy.
All
right,
let's go to some contestants.
Yes, we'll get to our this one. I didn't get a chance to screen, but it says Austin. Austin, are you there? Austin,
I am here.
All right, Austin, are you ready to play?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go.
Here we
Question number 1.
I think it's cool to have a first name that's also a state capital.
Oh, yeah? I should name my first kid Sacramento for you, Chris.
You could. Austin didn't seem to react to that comment at all.
No, he's locked in right now.
Is he locked in? He's focused. Okay.
Austin, the Padres went 0-6 against what team in the NL East?
Philly.
Phillies is correct. I just hate when the Padres play the Phillies, just because it just never goes the Padres' way.
By the way, Phillies have won 24 of the last 29 overall.
Proving me right.
Yes.
All right, second question here. Who was the first Padre to get a hit today against the Phillies?
Jackson Merrill.
Jackson Merrill.
Sorry, Austin. It was Bryce Johnson.
Bryce Johnson is correct.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Austin. It's kind of an unfair question.
It'd be cool if you could go to somebody named Jackson right now, because that is also
cool.
the state capital name.
Oh, wow.
But
I mean, there's no Brad capitals out there.
I don't know that Austin really either got what I said or just had no reaction to it at all. He was like, ha, let's go on with the questions.
I don't think he really I think he was locked in. Seriously.
I think so, yeah.
Call back again next time, Austin.
Yeah.
Let's go to Mike. Hello, Mike.
Hey, Mike.
What's up, guys?
Not too
Good
much.
to have you with us.
All right.
How
here
are
we
things
go.
in IB today, Mike?
It was okay. It was sunny. It was typical San Diego.
All right.
Well,
all right.
That's something to be grateful for.
Yeah, Sonny.
Yeah.
I like it. We're grateful for that, Chris.
Yes, we are.
All right, Mike, here we go. Question number 1. Which NBA team won game 1 of the finals last night?
Oh, my God.
The New York Knickerbockers.
I like it.
Knickerbockers is correct.
They should be called the Knickerbockers more often.
By the way, we haven't really talked about it. Jalen Brunson, I thought, was out for the rest of the year, like next year. He looked like he really hurt his knee.
He is he's quite remarkable.
And
it's about time we start all recognizing that.
Well, the finals is a great place to make people recognize you.
For sure.
Question number 2. Chris Sale has played for the Braves and 2 other teams. Name both.
Let's go with the White Sox and the Red Sox.
Yeah,
Nice
very
job.
good. Mike's
We got a
on it.
baseball fan
Yeah, he's
here.
paying
We got a
attention. Very
baseball
good,
fan
Mike.
here.
Good to hear. Good to have that on the board.
Here we go. Question number 3.
And I believe he's destroyed a clubhouse in all 3 locations.
Yes, he has.
He's a bit of a crazy guy.
Mike, hold on one second. He didn't destroy a clubhouse, but he did rip or cut a jersey in half with scissors because he didn't want to wear it.
Chris Sales, he's out there.
Do you remember that story? It was a throwback
vaguely.
uniform. He was pitching that night, did not want to wear it, took scissors to it, so the equipment guys went and got him another jersey.
I'm not defending his actions, but I would, as a pitcher, if I felt restrained in any way, would probably ask for another jersey
I
as
think
well.
it was the look.
Well, that I don't know.
I don't think it was the size.
To me, you got to be comfortable up there.
Yeah, Cole also says he demolished the TV in the tunnel, which
yes,
I
he's done
definitely
that.
knew.
We
that.
know that.
All right, Mike. Here
All
we
right,
go.
Mike
Question
goes for the
number 3.
title right here.
Jason Adam, normally trusted Jason Adam, not last night. But what team drafted him in 2010?
That's tough.
Ooh. Gonna be a shot in the dark here. I'll go with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Tampa Bay Rays. I think that's a good guess.
Stay there.
And the only reason I know this, I'm sorry, Mike, because Mike's a good contestant. We've had him on the show a bunch, and I always look up his bio.
All right, that's
I think
fair.
it was the Royals because he's from that area too.
That's fair.
The
I
Royals.
really didn't think you were going to know that.
Sorry, Mike. Sorry, you're a good contestant though, Mike. Play again. You'll get on the board with a win sooner rather than later.
Nice words of advice, Chris. He's like, this guy just eliminated me, and he's telling me sooner rather than later.
He will win.
I don't doubt it. He was pretty good.
Yeah, he was.
All right, here we go to Robert. Hello, Robert.
Hi, my name's actually John from Bay Park.
John
John
okay,
from
I'm
Bay
gonna
Park.
Change it from Robert to John.
Well,
there we go.
we just discovered you obviously stole Robert's
Your phone. Yeah.
phone.
That's my dad, yeah.
Oh, that's your dad. Okay, good.
All right, you ready to play?
Yes, sir.
All right, here we go. Which two Padres hit a home run today? You can name one.
Manny Machado and Jackson Merrill.
You got them both.
Very good.
All right.
Only number 6 for Jackson, by the way. Yeah.
6 more than I thought.
Well, I know.
Chris, it's been so bad. I've had to put him on the bench in my fantasy team. Like, he doesn't even crack the lineup on my fantasy team anymore. Sad. Sad. All right, here we go. Question number 2. What number does Victor Wembanyama wear?
Number 1, baby.
Number 1. I had no idea. I had to go look that up. I had to go look it up. All right. Third and final question here.
Can I ask it, even though I know the answer?
To what?
Can I ask the last question? I guess I can.
How do you know the answer? You haven't even
I know.
asked the
I would know
question.
the answer. I just have a cool question on top of what you just asked. That's all. But
okay.
Save it for later.
Save it. Yeah,
All right, go
save
ahead.
it. All right, here we go. John. The question number 3 goes like this. What Padres pitcher leads the franchise with 4 seasons of 225 or more innings pitched? What Padres pitcher leads the franchise with 4 seasons of 225 or more innings pitched?
That's a tester for the prize.
Is it Blake Snell?
Blake Snell, he says.
Is it current or past?
I think, yeah, I don't know if he got the question, but that, I guess, is part of what happens here.
Yeah, I guess so.
Because you wouldn't,
Blake
you would
Snell
never
play
guess
here.
Blake Snell. He didn't even play here 4 seasons. You're looking for somebody that was on the Padres and 4 different seasons as a Padre.
Yes.
They had 225 or more innings pitched. But I'm just going to guess Jake Peavy because he's the most obvious one to guess and probably wrong. Hey, it is wrong, John. So you have won.
And
I have another guess.
Okay.
It's too late. But Andy Ashby?
Wow, no, you didn't guess the right guy.
Oh, who was it?
Our guy, Randy Jones.
He had 2. I didn't know. I knew he had 2 huge seasons of a lot of innings. I didn't know he had 4.
He pitched a. Well, let me make sure now.
You're gonna make sure, yeah.
He pitched a lot.
No, I know he did. I just I threw him out because I knew
here
he
it
had,
is.
He had 2 innings with 300.
He
or
had
2 years with 300.
He had a 285 inning year.
Wow.
He had a 315 and a third inning year. And
that's the Cy Young year, 315.
Yes, that is. And he had 253 and 263.
Yeah, very good. All right, stay on there, John. You've won the big deal today. Chris versus the fans. Here's my question, though.
Let's hear
this
it.
is out for everybody. Do we have any prize to give away today?
Not today,
no.
no.
Yeah, well, this will just be for fun. I'll tell you the answer when we come back if you don't know. What number does Craig Stammen wear?
Right now?
Yeah, he's the manager of the Padres. What number does Craig Stammen wear? Don't say it if you think you know.
I won't.
Let people have some fun. We'll tell them when we come back and continue with more Gwynn and Chris.
Now, Craig Stammen joins us here, Padres' new manager. And Craig, listen, I've had the opportunity to play for 2 managers that were in their first year, Don Mattingly and the late Ryan Sandberg in Philadelphia. Both of them had their struggles. Even though these are the best of the best type of players, they had their struggles. Where do you see yourself in terms of your staff and leaning on your staff to kind of be able to help you in those first year kind of struggles that many managers deal with at some point?
You're right. I'm going to lean on my staff a lot. And I remember having, small conversations with Bob Melvin about some of this stuff. And he was talking about some of the things he wished he knew when he was a first-year manager. And this was way back when I wasn't even thinking about this. We were just kind of talking. And he's like, I wish that I wouldn't have tried to do everything myself. He said, I felt like I had to be involved in everything and I had to be a part of every decision. And he goes, it's just not the case. He goes, there's a few things that I do need to be in charge of and as the manager, but I got good people around me. If I got good people around me, I just got to be able to trust them.
Right.
That'll be the hard part, but we're going to build that trust within the clubhouse, within the coaching staff. So I'm not doing it all myself. We're going to share responsibility. We're going to share the successes. I'll take the blame, and then we'll see where the dust settles. But I'll, obviously, hopefully gain a lot of experience where we get to the end of the season and we're in that playoff hunt.
Yeah.
That we're rolling and we're humming and we got a good process going.
Now, you mentioned, kind of building off what Mike has done here the last couple of years, adding to his legacy. You obviously have your own strengths, though. Where do you see your strengths being able to be applied to this ball club and how it may be of help?
Yeah, Mike had so much experience of organizing, how to be a great baseball team. He'd been mentored by many great managers, and he'd taken a lot from those guys. And I just listened to what he had to say about that stuff, and I saw how he did it, observing and listening to how he kind of went about his business. So a lot of the things that he did, I'm going to probably keep doing the same thing. What I think I can add is maybe just I'm a little younger. I got a little bit more energy.
Yeah.
I've got some relationships within the clubhouse that are maybe a little bit different. Does that give me the avenue to push them in a little bit different way, or like sneak in there to get them to do a few things that they haven't been quite, open to in the past? Maybe I don't know. We'll find out. But, I'm going to treat them, with respect and hopefully get that respect back. And we're going to try to make this team as best they can be.
Craig Stammen joins us here, Padres' new manager. And Craig, you're clearly coming this with your eyes wide open with the situation. I heard you say partnering on multiple occasions up on the stand there. What does that look like for fans who are listening and may not know what partnering looks like? What exactly is that?
Yeah, partnering, it's a give and a take. We have relationships with our families, our moms, our dads, our wives, our kids. It's not always my way or the highway.
Right.
There's got to be, even in this decision to become the manager, there was a lot of give and take with me and Audrey, deciding what was important to her and what we were going to miss by taking this, what was important to me, what I was going to miss in this, and then coming to a decision that works best for both of us. And I think those types of things can happen throughout the year with players, trying to get them on the field to do certain things in practice or in the game, but like partnering them in the way that's like, it's not
Hi, we welcome you back. 4:23 is the time. Good on John. He won the Chris vs. the Fans today. I threw another question out just for fun. If you're on the chat, you probably saw people's response. What number does Craig Stammen, the manager of the Padres, currently wear? The only reason I thought is I was at the game, last week, and they introduced the lineup, and the PA announcer goes, and here's the manager of the Padres wearing number. It's Craig Stammen. I'm like, how do we even know what number he is? I've never seen him in a uniform, right? You see him in a jacket or
you see the pants, but you only see like a pullover.
A sweatshirt or pullover, right? You don't see what number. Well, today he came out, or yesterday maybe, to argue. I think it was yesterday. And he had an undershirt on that had his number on his sleeve. And I said, okay, there it is.
All right.
Craig Stammen wears the same number with the Padres that was originally worn in 1969 by Larry Stahl. You were there.
Yes, I was.
Other people to wear this number include Dave Freisleben, Sixto Lezcano, Carmelo Martinez, on up the line, Don Slott, Desi Relevant. Anyway, who cares? Scott Hairston, he's number 14. I thought that would be interesting to take a trip through the memory lane there, and it really wasn't. Guys wearing number 14, but Craig Stammen wore number 14. Here is a good question, I think, that under this same category, and I'm gonna throw this out because people look for stuff like this, or maybe I'm the only one. But do you think this would be a cool bar bet, Skraby? To try to name the only other player in Padre history besides Tony's dad to wear number 19?
Oh gosh, it's not Tony. I know that. Tony Jr.
No, Tony Jr. did not wear 19 here. He wore 18 here.
He refused to wear 19.
Yes. I think that's a good question, but I think it's gettable. Probably not by you.
Okay.
I don't think you weren't here. I mean, it would have to be before Tony played, of course.
Cole said Tyler Wade.
Tyler Wade was actually the last one to wear 14.
Okay.
He's not the one to wear 19. The only other player ever to wear 19 was outfielder Gene Richards.
Oh.
And he did
I've
that
heard the name. I
1978. But Tony obviously took over the number in 1982, and that's all she wrote.
Yeah.
History is what it is. Padres lost 6-4 to the Phillies today. Manny Machado says
they're playing.
The team needs to start
bleep.
getting some bleeping hits. He did finish by saying, "I don't think it can get worse. I mean, there's only one way up, or only one way up." But I don't know. I thought today they were going to get no hit. The way it was going, Wheeler was, gunning them in there. They got to the 6th inning. Finally, Bryce Johnson blooped a single, and that broke up that. But man, they're not exactly facing Tom Seaver or
Roger.
I'm looking for other Mets in their prime. Nolan Ryan. Well, Nolan Ryan started his career with the Mets.
I did not know
in
that.
1968. He pitched on the same team as Tom Seaver.
What about Noah Syndergaard?
Noah Syndergaard.
He was pretty good there for a year or two.
He had a year. Anyway, they're not facing those guys. But it doesn't matter who they're facing right now.
No, it doesn't.
Mets are coming to town tomorrow. Are you planning to go this weekend, Skraby? And if so, you and Frank going to maybe sit out in right field and welcome back to town Juan Soto with a big sign of respect and love?
No, I'm not
planning to do that.
I'm not planning on showing a sign of respect and love.
Juan's going to be back.
I will never forget.
Shouldn't we thank him for all the great years he gave us here?
Wonderful
times.
I will never forget when he ran his chair into me twice because I apparently was standing too close to him.
He wasn't pleased with you on that.
He literally went like this, Chris. And I'm doing this for people in their car. He just went and took his chair and went right into me.
Like, move out of my way.
I was in his space, but it could have been
It really doesn't matter. Yeah, it really, it's just
nicer.
not the nicest thing to do.
Cole says, it could definitely get worse for around Manny's
It sure can. You could get one hit tomorrow by Christian Scott, who I don't even know who that is, but he's starting for the Mets tomorrow.
Scares me even more than a Zach Wheeler, Chris.
You'll get Nolan McLean. Is it Nolan?
Yeah.
Yeah, the guy who started the gold medal game in the World Baseball Classic.
Yep.
And then on Sunday, it'll be former Padre Sean Manaea.
Can we please light that guy up?
No, you can't. I don't know that you can light anybody up.
Oh, come on.
You're going back to May 5th. Tomorrow will be a 1 month on the button since they had more than 10 hits in a game. Hasn't been pretty. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Skraby's got the Big Five, which I don't know where you're going today. There wasn't a lot of great stories I didn't see today.
No,
in general.
We'll talk about Christian Watson got paid. We'll talk about the Spurs are doing something that I think is ridiculous.
What do you think about the fan that ran out onto the court last night and took a selfie with Victor Wembanyama during the NBA Finals?
I was going to bring that up in the 5 o'clock, but that was also ridiculous. That was
ridiculous.
Crazy. And the kid was on Instagram Live. I said for a second, like, it was kind of cool, but at the same time, it's not cool at all.
Was it cool that NBC, was it on NBC or ABC?
ABC.
Okay. Was it cool that ABC slowed it down and took a replay slow-mo shot of the kid pulling his phone out for the selfie?
Yeah,
like, was that necessary?
No, definitely not necessary, because now you're telling kids that you will get on TV if you do this.
Yeah, probably wasn't the best move.
I would say Victor Wembanyama was loving it. He thought it was hilarious. But
he didn't
also,
seem to mind.
He's 7'4". You're not going to get him in the shot anyway.
You're going to have to come from a different angle. Speaking of the NBA Finals, Game 3 will be attended in New York by one Donald J. Trump.
Oh, wow.
We'll take a break. Come back with the Big Five next. Not going to give it to you because I don't have it. 6-4 Phillies with the win today. Padres go 0-6 against Philadelphia this year. Got swept twice. And the Phillies, who opened the season 9-19 and fired their manager, now have a better record than the Padres. That's how things have changed.
Well, if you put 2 and 2 together, what should the Padres do?
What should they do?
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. No. What they should do is come home and just hope that they can get things turned around. There's not a whole lot you can crazily do. But if it goes much longer, you're going to have to get another voice there in terms of hitting. Because you can't fire the whole team.
No, you can't fire mainly a lot of the team.
I'm sorry to say. I mean, you've already made a couple moves to the minors. You hope Campusano might get back here and, give us something at the catcher position. But, the realistic answer to it is Manny Machado and Fernando and Jackson Merrill need to become those guys again. That's the real answer.
Yes.
We've been having, going with a bunch of other stuff all day, but that's the real answer. All right, let's get to got game 2 of the Stanley Cup Finals tonight coming up. Vegas at Carolina. Got the Knicks up on the Spurs. That series continues tomorrow. And we got a big 5.
Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Chris and I are broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios where we know how. Tony Gwynn Jr. at his daughter's graduation. We'll just get into it because my inbox, Chris,
number 5,
has been flooded with this question.
Okay.
So you may remember last year, July 31st, 2025, trade deadline day.
Okay. Yeah, I do remember it now.
At the maybe nth hour, the end of the trade deadline, the Padres acquired Freddie Fermin for Ryan Berger and Stephen Kolek.
Okay.
Ryan Berger is now out for the season with Tommy John surgery, so that's not great for him.
Right.
Stephen Kolek, he has come back. He has done pretty well. He's on this family list right now. But the question for me...
So he is pitching for the Royals, though.
He is pitching.
Kolek.
He's only pitched... May 5th was his first start of the year, but
so
he's been pretty good.
Abbreviated schedule for Kolek.
He had back-to-back starts where he didn't give up a run.
Yeah, okay.
He just struck out 8 yesterday.
All right, so he's doing a few things.
Here's the question.
What is the question?
Did that trade put this year's team in peril? That's the question.
Well, first of all, I don't want to, because I've just been, unfortunately, giving nothing but Freddie Fermin's disastrous stats and accomplishments today.
Yeah.
So I do want to at least say this. The acquisition of Freddie Fermin, I believe, without question, helped them get to the postseason last year. I thought he was that good coming in here, hitting about 260, doing a great job behind the plate, giving them something at the catching position. They hadn't really had anything. Remember last year was all about Maldonado and goodness. How quickly
Diaz.
we forget. Yeah, Elias Diaz, who didn't do much either. So Fermin did I thought a great job last year. And so I don't want to totally forget about that. I really don't. That's not 100% fair to tell this only half the story. But the story as it is right now is unwatchable at that position. And 0 for 32 and throws going into center field, et cetera. So, I think you have to do what you think is right for the time. And I think that they did what was right for the time. What's unfortunately apparently proving out is that Freddie Fermin really is not an everyday catcher. He was a good backup to Perez and KC, and he was good for a short stint here. But he's in a slump beyond slumps right now. But no, I'm not going to second guess it because I thought we got something out of it already, even if we get nothing this year.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you there. I guess it's a wash because Berger got Tommy John. I agree with you, Chris. I thought that this trade last year helped them in more ways than we know, but obviously the trade's not going to look good with Freddie Fermin doing what he's doing this year.
No, I mean, if Kolek goes on and pitches 2 or 3 more years, Berger ever even comes back, KC's going to look like the winners of this deal. But I can't honestly imagine Freddie Fermin being this bad compared to what we saw last year. And last year, he was aces on behind the plate.
He was. He has one of the best pop times in baseball.
Skraby, he has throws that are going into right center field.
Which just tells me that there's a lot going on in his head.
We're not talking about the ball as, just kind of inching past the arm of Bogarts. It's sailing to where Fernando has to go back it up. Something's crazy with him.
The Padres acquired a guy who hit 281 his rookie year, 271 the next year, 251. But he is a career middle 200 hitter.
Yeah, he's a zero hitter
not
right
even
now.
Close to that right now.
He's a zero hitter.
We would love for him to hit 200. Like I didn't think that the catcher position at the plate could get worse. Hopefully Freddie Fermin just needs a little reset at the minor
I don't know
league
that
level.
he's going to get a chance to get the reset. I think they're going to have to DFA him. I don't even think you can put him in the minors. I'm being mean, but I mean, just being honest.
No, you're not being mean. You're being real. And that's reality of professional baseball. If you don't perform, you will be shipped out.
Number 4.
All right, to the NFL. Christian Watson. You know who he is, Chris?
Wide receiver for the Packers who runs really fast, drops the ball from time to time.
Pulls his hamstring every day.
He's a hamstring puller.
He agreed today with the Packers to a 4-year, $110.5 million extension that included $31 million signing bonus. And
so that's guaranteed cash right there.
$31 million. Now, I went to his page because I immediately thought, the first thing I thought was, he never plays. Why are you giving this guy money? He's missed 20 regular season games over the last 4 seasons, and he's never had more than 620 yards receiving or 41 catches in a season. So I'm up first. Is he worth this money? I know I can hear Tony say it in my head. He's worth what people are willing to pay him for, but no, this is a bad signing. This guy's always hurt. $110.5 million for the next 4 years for a guy that continuously misses games and doesn't have a great season to really show on your resume. The one thing he does do is he scores a lot of touchdowns. Other than that, he's unavailable and he doesn't catch a lot of balls. Chris?
I can't believe they would pay this for him, but here's his number of catches last year in the games that he did play.
Yeah.
4, 2, 2, 4, 5, 4, 4, 3, 2, 5.
Does
that sound like a $130 million guy to you?
No.
I don't know how some of these guys do it. That they're able to convince teams of their greatness without even being close to being great. But yeah, Christian Watson's faster than hell. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I think you could get that production for that kind of money. It seems like you could spend it a lot wiser. My assumption, though, is that they're just grooming him so that they can send him down to the Dolphins with all the other crappy former Packers. I don't know.
I could totally see Christian Watson in a Dolphins
he'd
uniform.
be perfect, wouldn't he? He'd run down the field.
He would be so fast.
And he'd drop it. He'd be wide open. I think this is stupid. So what can I tell you? Stupid for everybody but Christian Watson.
I need to find these guys. I don't have an agent, but if there's an agent out there that can get me more money than I'm actually worth.
What has he done to make them think he's deserving of that?
I don't know.
He had one 100-yard game last year. One.
I don't get it, Chris. I don't get it. He's one hamstring pull away from being out for the year.
There's receivers that get 100 yards almost every game that are all pro guys that are making less money than that.
Tyreek Hill. Oh,
well.
Is he still on the Dolphins technically?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right, let's move on.
How much money did JSN get guaranteed to stay with Seattle? Did he get over $30 million guaranteed?
I think he did, but let me see.
I mean, he was the NFL Player of the Year. I don't think
he got what he's worth.
Yeah, but I don't know that he got a lot more than $31 million guaranteed. Remember, the guaranteed money is all that matters in the NFL. Because I could sign a player to a $80 million 1-year deal, but then cut him after 2 weeks. They don't get all that money.
JSN got way more.
Okay,
so he got 4 years. Christian Watson got 4 years, 110 with $31 million guaranteed. JSN got 4 years, $168 million with a guarantee of over $120 million. Oh, I'm sorry, that was an extension. The latest contract, 6 years, $195 million with $120 million guaranteed
for JSN. 120 guaranteed. I'll be honest with you. How do you even? I don't know. Go out there and motivate yourself to get better.
See, he does seem like a guy that
does seem like it, but man, you just got $120 million guaranteed.
I would cry, honestly, Chris. I would cry signing that contract.
I'm crying now, knowing that he signed that contract.
All right,
number one. Number two. This is why owners, we don't listen to you when you say you have no money.
Because
of course you have the money.
They have money to throw at Christian
have it every
Watson.
time. Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Number 3.
Virginia Tech. They have
received. Are in the news, huh?
They have received a massive donation from an anonymous donator.
Michael Vick, maybe?
No, not with this money. Not with this money.
Oh, even more than Michael Vick would have?
Norfolk State salary. Isn't that where he's coaching right now?
I don't know, but Michael Vick must have made some money in the NFL.
He did not make $75 million worth of money to donate. Okay. So they don't know who this person is, but it's a record donation.
Oh, they don't even know who donated the money. They're just
they know.
Oh, they know.
We
They're not telling us. Okay.
It was made anonymously by, oh my gosh, Chris, Braden might be a part of this. A 4th-generation Virginia Tech family.
Why would Braden be a part of that?
Because he's a 4th-generation San Diegan. I was stretching a little bit.
Yes,
stretching a little bit.
You are.
But
I don't think he has any connection
family,
to this at all.
And the fundraising portion, they're going to invest $229 million in athletics over the next 4 years. Basically, and they hire James Franklin, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
My question is, do you care about Virginia Tech at all?
What do you mean?
Like, do you see a Virginia Tech game on? You're like, I got to watch this Virginia Tech game.
Absolutely not. But, I mean, when they had Michael Vick and they had a great team, I watched them. When they had Frank Beamer and they were in the hunt there for a few years. So, yeah, they could be relevant just as well as anybody else. I mean, I'll be honest with you right now. I don't have it, and I don't know anyone who does. But wouldn't it be great if you were an Aztec alum, the kind of fan like me or Tony or, somebody out there listening that honestly just had so much, we could just give them, a one-time donation of $75 million, make sure that Dutcher spends it properly and go after the national title again. Because this is the part of the world in which you could do that under the current guidelines. Or I could give all the money to Stacey Terry Hudson and tell her to get the best 5 women's players in the country and make a run at the title. That's how kind of off-base college basketball is, and college football too. But it's easier to do in basketball because you only need to get 3 or 4 players. But wouldn't that be cool if you could just, I think it would be kind of fun. So I don't blame these Virginia Tech people.
I do. I think this is a big waste of money.
Well,
it's a big, huge waste of money. It's their money, so they can spend it however they want.
Absolutely.
And I can't take that away from them. I think it's cool that there is a group of people out there that are so passionate about Hokie sports that they donate $75 million.
Well, I mean, people at Texas, they have a $400 million payroll. I mean, somebody's giving them that money. May not be one person, but it's a lot of people. You think Matthew McConaughey's throwing a few mil into it?
Probably.
Why not?
Probably.
Why not? If you have it, you're a big sports fan, you want your team to succeed. This is how the way of the land right now.
It is.
And hopefully it's not going to stay this way forever. People like Nick Saban are in D.C. right now trying to get them to put some restrictions on this before it gets way more out of hand. Probably,
Number 2.
I didn't have anything good to say.
Yeah, not to get Stacey Terry Hudson or Brian Dutcher too excited, but if the Padres would just start paying me like they're supposed to for being a shill, I might be able to give some more money to the Aztecs.
You need to start shilling more.
I'm not doing much shilling today, am I?
No, you're not.
No.
They're actually going to take money out of your paycheck.
They might take out of my paycheck today.
All right.
Number 2.
I came across this article earlier today. By the way, Chris, football is right around the corner. It's June 4th today.
There's
things are going to start.
Hall of Fame games in July. So
yeah, things are going to start middle of July. We're going to be back to football season in no time. But the article was 8 quarterbacks who could be benched in the 2026 season.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you these 8. You tell me which is most likely to be benched at some point this year. Jacoby Brissett of the Cardinals. Your guy, Tua Tagovailoa of the Falcons.
Is he going to be starting? Do we know this?
No, but they're going to give him the starting in this argument. They're going to give him the starting job in this argument.
So far, I think both guys 2 for 2.
Deshaun Watson of the Browns.
3 for 3.
Daniel Jones of the Colts. Kirk Cousins of the Raiders. Didn't realize
I guess he's the starter.
For the Raiders.
He'll get benched for sure.
Kyler Murray of the Vikings. Malik Willis of the Dolphins.
He won't get benched. They have no one to go to.
And Geno Smith of the Jets.
I don't know.
I think Geno Smith
makes sense to bench him. It's certainly Cousins. I mean, after the Raiders start 1-8, they'll get Mendoza in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Malik Willis isn't going anywhere.
No.
The Dolphins already know they're going to be 0-17 next year, or they're planning for it, and they want Malik Willis just to be the quarterback going forward. So he's not going anywhere. But the rest of those guys all have a chance to be supplanted.
I think the only person on that list because Jacoby Brissett, terrible franchise. Like, the Cardinals are not going to win this year. So why would they need to change a quarterback? The only person I think, Chris, it's got to be Geno Smith. It's got to be.
You think he's going to get benched with the Jets?
He did not look great last year.
Hall of Fame game is August 6th.
Okay.
So we got to wait a little while. It's a good game. Really good matchup. Oh, yeah.
What is it?
Carolina and Arizona. They're getting 2 big clubs out there for that one.
They spared no expense
this year
on this one.
Number 1.
All right, I saw this online, but the Spurs have done something that people are very upset about. A Spurs fan who had season tickets tried to sell their playoff tickets or finals tickets to through like a third-party service, and they received this email. Tickets associated with your account have been identified in connection with resale activity utilizing unofficial or unauthorized secondary market sites in violation of the applicable ticketing terms and conditions. Accordingly, here's the big part. Your season ticket membership and related ticket privileges are revoked effective immediately. And if you've made deposits towards next season, they will be refunded. This is a no questions asked policy. And a lot of people think it's unfair. We're going to have to talk about it.
Well, the question I would have real quick, did they announce this was the policy, or did they just stick it to these people?
I've done a little bit of research, and I have
tickets?
not seen that they specifically said you cannot do this. It's probably in the fine print somewhere.
Well, then they're going to have a lawyer or 10 involved.
Or 10 is right.
Yeah. It seems to me if it's your squad or your organization, you should be able to make whatever rules you want. But at the same time, those are pretty harsh.
So what if you've been season ticket holder for 30 years, or you've been in line forever?
I don't know what we're going to do to make it a happy hour, but we'll try. It's next on Gwynn and Chris. much to be happy about. As a matter of fact, I'd say there's nothing to be happy about, really.
It's been a tough week.
Brown jerseys looked okay today. By the way, Philadelphia Phillies, I can't get past it. It's only, probably me and a few other people that are bothered by it. But the uniforms they wore today,
the light blue
ones, those are their road uniforms from the early 1980s.
Oh.
And it's just weird to me. Those are what they wore when they weren't at home in the 70s and 80s, when they had Mike Schmidt and Luzinski and all these guys. I just think it's weird that that's become an alternate home uniform now. That throws me off. But then again, I don't like it in the NBA Finals or any time where the Spurs are wearing black last night and the Knicks on the road are wearing the white. I just think the home team should wear white the way it's been my entire life. But the NBA has boxed and changed that the last 5 or 6 years.
Things that do not bother me at all.
Nobody else even notices it but me, probably. But yeah, I guess now in the NBA, the home team's allowed to wear pretty much whatever color they want. And then the visiting team has to just adjust from there.
That the Phillies probably did that because they wanted to sell the home jerseys.
They just wanted to sell more jerseys. Sure, I get it all. I understand it. Doesn't mean I like it, Skraby.
I get it.
All right, so there's nothing good to tell you about the Padres. We've given you the numbers all day long, right? They've lost 11-14, 5 in a row. They're 32-29. They're barely even over 500 now.
That's the scariest part to me.
Yeah, they've fallen behind 6 other teams in the National League standings, which means if the playoffs started tonight, they would not be in them. And, just to kind of add a little fuel to it, the Phillies, who started 9-19, fired their manager, now have a better record than the Padres do. So it's hopefully reached a low point. Manny Machado said there's only one direction to go, and that's up. Guess what? If they get shut out by the Mets tomorrow night at home, the direction will be down.
I'm not coming to work on Monday.
You're not going to come in on Monday?
If they lose the series, I'm not coming to work.
Don't tempt people to root for the Mets tomorrow night.
By the way, they said apparently they wore the blue jerseys here for a game too, so maybe they wear.
Well, they can wear them, I guess, either home or road. Yeah. But those used to be crazy. Only their road unis way back when. But here's the best thing I can do for Padre fans, because misery loves company. And if you look around baseball, the Padres are far from alone. Toronto Blue Jays were in the World Series last year. They've currently dropped 4 straight. They're in 4th place, 8.5 games out in the AL East. They're not even at 500. Detroit Tigers, who won the division 2 years ago, got to the second round of the playoffs last year, were favored by some to go even to the World Series this year, are 13 games below 500, and that's with a 3-game winning streak. So they were even worse earlier in the week. Houston Astros, perennial AL team, 7 games under 500. Mets, everybody knows how bad they've been, 8 games under. I think the Cubs are the best example of misery loves company right now. Cubs are only 2 games over 500 at this point.
Wow, I didn't realize that.
After they won 10 in a row twice this year.
Yeah.
And they won 15 in a row at Wrigley Field. They have now lost their last 8 games at Wrigley Field. Baseball can do it to you.
Yes, it can.
And it's not just the Padres who have suffered. So, like I said, misery loves company. We have some company. Unfortunately, it only makes you feel a little better until you go out there tomorrow and try to win a game, which you must do. Michael King will pitch tomorrow night. Mets and Reds coming in on this homestand as the Padres look to get things turned around. The NBA Finals last night surprised me. I'll be straight up. I thought the Spurs had the better team. I thought they'd win this series. They still might. It's 1 game. But here's what happened to the Spurs last night, I believe. Finally they got a little bit intimidated by the bright lights of it all. The thing with the Spurs, they are really young.
Yes, they are.
All these guys are like, brand new draft choices. Wembanyama's not even 22 or, whatever. Castle's 21. I mean, this is one of the youngest teams ever to be in this position. And so far they passed every challenge, right? They beat OKC in Game 7 on the road. They've done all this stuff. You just assume that there's nothing that's too big for them. Last night it looked a little too big for them. Now, that doesn't mean that now that they've got their feet wet, they can relax, settle in. Spurs are better than a 26% three-point shooting team. They were 11 for 43 last night. That's really not very good at all. I didn't think any Spur player played particularly well except for Dylan Harper, number 2, the left-handed kid coming off the bench. He had a really strong game. Everyone else for the Spurs played less than what I believe they're capable of. So having said that, you would think the Spurs, can get back in this series. But what might be overlooked, and we're going to just have to wait and see, is how much the Knicks had to do with the Spurs' performance. Nobody's really looking at the Knicks the way maybe they should be, me included. The Knicks have won 12 games in a row by an average, get this, an average of 23 points per game.
This is why I don't understand why no one gives the Knicks a chance.
Yeah, and me included. You said last night you picking the Knicks, and I said, haha. The Knicks have won 12 in a row by 23-point average. It is the most impressive 12-game stretch statistically in NBA history. Playoffs, regular season, anytime. No team's ever won 12 games in a row by that kind of margin.
I mean, this is very hard to do.
Right. The Knicks are the only team that's ever done it. But for some reason, we expect that the West is best and the Spurs are out of the West and the Knicks are going to finally admit their match.
See, I always say young teams need to lose before they win. And what you're saying is the Spurs are going down this path.
They started it. But a couple of things can happen, and I don't know which will. The Bulls, the first of their 6 titles, they lost the very first game of the finals at home. And then they came back and swept 4 from the Lakers and went on to, their greatness. The Lakers of Kobe and Shaq lost their first finals game at home to Philadelphia. And then they came back. Anyway, it happens. We'll see if the Spurs, and that's why I see game 2 is going to be really important, not just who wins, but to see whether the Spurs are kind of over their stage fright a little and they look more like themselves.
Yeah.
Or whether the Knicks can just continue to have that effect on them. And one other thing about the Knicks, I'm not really rooting for the Knicks. I've never been a Knicks fan. But if you don't, or I don't, or whoever watches sports doesn't, start appreciating this Jalen Brunson, you're not paying attention. He is unbelievable. And I know that last night he shot terrible for the game. He was 12 for 31. So he missed 19 shots. But I guarantee you hardly any of them were in the fourth quarter. When it came to the fourth quarter, they put the ball in his hands. They had 3 guys guarding him. He's smaller than any of them, and he's darting, and he's spinning, and he's stopping, and he's ducking under, and he's leaning back, and he's over here, and he's off the window. It's not like they didn't all over him, and he made him anyway. I don't know what else to say. Becky Hammond, who's a very well-respected, a coach now in the Aces, but coached the Spurs alongside Popovich. She was the one who said no team with a leader who's a guard like that can win an NBA title. Said straight up, you can't win with a little guy. Jalen Brunson may prove her and everybody else wrong. He is unbelievably good, and I tip my cap to him. Because he missed 19 shots last night. He got knocked down. He got shoved. He got pushed. He had 4 turnovers. He went out of the game with a knee injury. He got slammed to the floor and complained to the official about it and got no response. He got in an argument with the fans at the end of the game and had to be restrained
I did see that too.
by one of the officials. And through it all, All he did was win the game for the Knicks. He really is something. And, they outscored him 11-0 to finish the game. That was almost all Jalen Brunson.
Honestly, I didn't. So I watched most of the game, but I didn't get to see the end. And then I saw my phone tell me that the Knicks won. And I was like, what?
No, you got it. Brunson is the guy at the end. And, I thought Karl Anthony Towns did a good job on Wembanyama. Wembanyama shot 6 of 21 and only scored 26 points because he had an SGA night. They kept parading him to the free throw line. He went 13 times to the line, but he didn't do much. The Spurs were not themselves, but the Knicks, I think, had something to do with it. And the Knicks are on a 12-game win streak. That confidence means something.
It definitely does.
So we'll see if the Spurs can take some of that, swagger away and even the series tomorrow.
I think Jalen Brunson just has the look of a guy who's going to do some great things.
He is great. I cannot say it any other way now. And his stat line is not impressive here. 2 for 9 from 3, 12 for 31, a couple of rebounds, 2 assists. But when it's the end of the game and it's tied up and he got the ball and there's 5 guys guarding him, somehow he scores.
Yeah, there was one shot last night. I have no idea.
I don't know how he does it.
He was falling away.
I know.
And threw it up and it bounced on the rim like 7 times and then it went in.
He's got something with that ability to be elusive. And we'll see. Game 2 will be interesting. People always overreact to game 1. It's like, the Knicks won on the road. They're going to win. They might, but, we'll see. All right. Coming back, more Gwynn and Chris ahead.
I got something for us.
It's about time you bring something to the table.
Yeah. I finally started working.
You finally get to contribute?
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll see what you contribute with when Gwynn and Chris continues. All right, 5:19 is the time. Chris, Skraby, together, Bill House Studios. We know how. Tony Gwynn Jr. has been, I hope he's been celebrating today.
Me too.
Graduation of his eldest today from high school. There's certainly a celebratory day in the Gwynn household.
Yeah, Tony, if you're listening, don't look at your MLB app for today. Just forget about today's game. Just move right past it. Enjoy your nice day.
Well, if I know Tony, enjoying his nice day would not include checking in on you and I.
No, I'm saying the Padres game.
No, I know, but you said if you're listening right now, and I'm saying he's not listening.
That's
right
true.
now.
Do you listen to us when you're not on? Because I can't do it.
I would probably want to jump through the radio and wring your neck half the time. That's why I don't do it.
By the way, on Monday, I'm filling in for Braden, so I'm going to be doing the midday show from 10 to 2. And on the way home last time, I was listening to you guys, and you guys kept taking shots at me, and I can't say anything. That's the weirdest part to me, is that you guys just have carte blanche.
Yeah, how dare you leave us like that? That's what you're playing with fire on that. 6-4 Phillies was the final. Enough about that. You wanted to bring up something, though.
Yes.
Talking about longtime season ticket holders. And Ted Leitner was on the roundtable last week. We didn't have a roundtable today because the game was this morning. But one of the things that Ted talked about, I think, is what you want to kind of get to a little bit here. He talked about the fact that, he was at the franchise, as the play-by-play voice from, the beginning of time. And as Ted said, there was so much bad baseball that what we're having now, it's hard to be that upset with it. And I think the point you want to make, or that people are, tell me what you want, because I think there's another way to look at that.
I was checking Twitter last night to see how much everybody was loving the Padres, and I came across this. Someone tweeted, "It's so easy to spot the people who became fans after 2020. Y'all cry over a little losing streak. I promise you don't know what real struggle is." And then someone quote tweeted that, and she said, "Not going to lie, I'm tired of this take. My dad has been a fan since 1969. He's never been more frustrated by a core of players than this team. The years and years of bad Padres baseball was easier to accept when we didn't spend. It's not acceptable anymore. Fans can and should be complaining." So my question is, just because you've been a fan of the team for a very long time, does that make new fans exempt of feeling bad about where this team is at right now? Like, do you have to put in a ton of time to be able to complain about the team? Or if you jumped on the bandwagon in 2021, do you have to wait because you haven't seen bad baseball yet?
Well, first of all, I think complaining, even if you're a first-year fan, like there might be some people that are 12 years old, right? They're kind of just paying attention to it for the first time.
I'm more talking about adults.
Right, I know what you are. What I'm saying is, I think you have every right now, as a fan of any length of time of the Padres, to be frustrated and a little bit upset right now. What the, tweeter or the person you...
which one, the quote tweeter or the original tweet?
No, the quote tweeter said, I think it's fair. The Padres had 13 losing seasons in a row to start off Padre baseball. All right? Or I should say 12 out of 13. They also had a stretch in the 80s or 90s there where they had 9 straight losing seasons. But those teams sucked. Do you know what I mean?
They were terrible.
Right? So, when they got out of the gate 5-13, you just kind of went, well, here we go again. We didn't expect much. And, it'd be nice if we could catch a little lightning in a bottle. But you had 9 losing seasons there. You had 12 out of 13 early. So those teams were nothing that you were even counting on to give you any joy, really.
Yeah.
Whatever they gave you was appreciated.
Yes.
The fans, the crowds, they've always kind of hung out over the 2 million mark, which is really a credit to everybody here. But it wasn't nearly the same atmosphere as you get now at Petco Park.
No.
And this team is now coming off of 6 consecutive winning seasons, right? Am I wrong? Wait, I missed 1, 2, 3.
I don't think they've had.
I take it back. 4 winning seasons in a row. Were they under 500 in 2020? Yeah, 2021 they were under 500, just barely.
Remember
they collapsed at the very end.
Trust me, Chris, I did all the post games.
They ended up 79 and 83. But they were over 500 all year, and then they just fell off.
I think they had a 10-game wild card lead, and they just
went
let it
kaput.
die.
Yes, they went completely kaput that year. Juan Soto, dragged him down with him. I'm joking.
I think what I am starting to turn.
Soto
the corner
didn't even
on.
come in 21.
No.
He didn't come till 22, so that's not his fault.
What I'm starting to just because you tortured yourself since 1969 doesn't mean people can't complain. And I'm getting some comments on the chat for this. Mike says, I think the point is that bandwagoners are much more likely to complain because they've only seen the good years. K-Law says two things can be true at once, but the bandwagoners think every loss is world ending. I think there's
longtime fans who think every loss is never ending.
Yes.
I rooted for the Dolphins since before the perfect season. I take every loss as hard now as I did then. All right. Most people that are,
I can attest.
So I'm a 50-year fan. There's a 7-year Dolphin fan who's never seen them win a game.
That's true.
Practically.
I was going to say,
but those fans probably don't love it. Most fans don't like their team to lose no matter what the circumstance. But I do think it's fair if you're a longtime Padre fan to have bigger expectations for this team than what they are currently, giving us.
Everyone can have the same expectations for this team. And right now, they are not living up to the expectations at all.
Not really.
Is that on us? Should we have not expected for more?
No, I think we should have expected for more. We've got, some highly paid players out there that should be doing a lot better.
I do co-sign on this K-Loss thing. I think the thing that irks me the most is when they immediately call for a rebuild. I agree with that. I've seen so many. It's time to trade Mason Miller. It's time to do this. It's time to do that. It's time to rebuild. The owners are going to gut this team when they get it. That's not helpful.
New owners?
Yeah. That's not helpful to anyone.
I don't know. I just think ever since the new owners came around, the Padre offense thought. No, I just think the Padre offense thought that 1 or 2 was a good score because that's the way it is in soccer where they own the Chelsea.
Oh, I see.
The 1 or 2 is, acceptable.
I see. That's 2 is 9 runs.
They've been 2 or less in 8 of the 14 games during the stretch. That's not winning baseball in any way. But yeah, I think you're going for your 6th winning season in the last 7. I think you have a right to expect some more. And I think that when you've got the kind of players you have, unless you had, widespread injuries, then there's no really good excuse.
Yeah.
And yes, the injuries that are the big ones are actually Musgrove and Pavetta.
Yes.
Those are pitchers.
Yeah.
That doesn't explain.
No, the hitters are
why they can't hit.
The hitters are still healthy. They're just not hitting.
I mean, the ones that aren't healthy weren't hitting at the beginning.
Jay Munoz says, I'm 50, been through a lot of bad seasons. I just want to see a championship parade at least once in my lifetime. I hope you get that.
What's Jay Munoz?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? I'm talking about a parade since came out of the womb. We have no parades.
No parades, and it all goes back to Juan Cabrillo.
We're in the city of no parades.
I think you're spot on with your Juan Cabrillo thing. I don't know when you said that years ago.
What was the story on that?
You said that when Juan Cabrillo came to San Diego back in the day, he made a deal with the gods. Saying
that we would just have the best weather of all time.
Best weather of all time, but your sports teams will never win a championship. And Juan Cabrillo took that.
And he took the deal.
And so now we're stuck with Juan Cabrillo's deal.
Great weather, but no parades.
No parades. I probably shouldn't have picked out my parade spot last year when I thought they were going to go do something.
That was kind of a moment of genius by me back in the day.
That was.
The Juan Cabrillo thing.
It created an account. There's a guy, Rod, who goes on there as Juan Cabrillo and tells everybody salutations.
6-4 Phillies. Bummer. Jace Bowen started out 1 for 8 with 5 Ks. So are we giving up on him? Should we expect anything? That and more about the Padres minor leaguers with the excellent Sam Dykstra of MILB.com is still ahead.
From the first pitch of the year to the biggest games.
Stanley Cup Game 2. Golden Knights and Hurricanes 0-0. 8 minutes gone by in the first. Crisello, Tony Gwynn Jr. celebrating the graduation of his daughter today in high school. We assume he's celebrating somewhere. Matthew Skraby is alongside here in the Bill House Studios where we know how. Tomorrow, it will be a Friar Friday. Win or lose, it's still a Friar Friday. Griffin Canning will be our guest tomorrow.
Yes.
I'll leave it to you, Skraby, to ask him about that tough start he had in Milwaukee.
Sure. I'm gonna spend all night
about it.
No, I'm gonna spend all night. I'm gonna be like, how do you rebound from something like that?
That was a tough one.
I mean, he couldn't. The
rest have been pretty good. The rest have been pretty good. But I said this yesterday. The starting pitching can do whatever it wants. It really doesn't matter. And
it doesn't matter.
Again, you can criticize Stammen for this, that, and the other, but it doesn't matter.
At a certain point, do you think I know the starting pitchers would never admit this or say this, but at a certain point, they got to be like, man, what else do we have to do to get a win, guys? Come on.
Well, I don't think they're quite like that.
I know.
No, but I think what happens is that you can pitch a little more, in a tense manner, thinking that if I give up a home run here, it could be ball game in the third inning.
Yeah, totally.
That does make it more difficult to pitch. So I think that, is something you can say. I want to congratulate the next Super Bowl champions. I already know who's going to win now based on this story. It's not going to be them.
Oh, wow.
The Detroit Lions today. This is the kneecap cannibal. Yes.
That was me biting kneecaps.
I know it was. The Detroit Lions have hired as a new personnel executive. And who wouldn't want to hire a personnel executive with a resume that includes 26 years in charge of a franchise with no playoff berths? That's who I'd go for. The Lions have hired former Miami Dolphin GM Chris Greer as a personnel executive. Why?
Because he's not making decisions, and he probably has some good ideas in there. He's not making official decisions.
How the hell do you think he has any good ideas?
He's been around football long enough he could throw out a good idea or two.
26 years, no playoffs with him in charge.
He was the GM for 26 years?
Yeah, he was with the organization. He's been the GM for the last 12.
Oh, that's a long time.
I'm just saying. I get that I don't know what kind of guy he is. I've never met him. I've heard him talk. I don't believe anything he says. And, his results speak for themselves. So I don't know what else to say, but the thing is I can understand making a hiring mistake in certain jobs where performance isn't necessarily kept in win and loss records. You know what I'm saying? Some guy does a good interview, you check a reference, they say, you did pretty well, you hire them, and then after a while, you're like, oh boy, that didn't work out. Okay, all right, it happens. But if you're going to hire somebody whose record says they're terrible, that I don't get.
Are you hiring to be the GM? No.
Personnel executive. What does that mean?
That tells me that he does nothing.
He's just going to shine somebody's shoes? I mean, what is he going to do?
He does nothing except for, hey, what did you see there? Oh, I saw this. That's all he does.
All right. Anyway, congratulations to the Lions. I think this is going to push them over the top.
Me too, Chris. Me too. I think the rookie tore an ACL today or yesterday.
Through the years, Greer said he developed an appreciation for Lions GM Brad Holmes. I bet he would have an appreciation for him. The guy just hired you.
Yeah.
Despite the fact you're one of the worst at your job in NFL history.
That would be pretty funny if he was like, yeah, I'm just kind of whatever about this guy, but thanks for hiring me.
Like,
what else is he going to say?
Look, you say the same thing I do. You don't like it, and I agree with you, when they're recycled people hired that didn't do well, have proven they're not very good. That I get it. If a coach gets fired, circumstances, but they had some success, and you say, hey, I want this guy. But if you're going to hire somebody that was bad elsewhere and expect a different result, that's on you.
There's got to be something that they like about it.
All right. Anyway, congrats to the Lions. Good luck with Chris Greer. Say hi to him for me. I tell him thanks for keeping all of my Decembers and Januaries free.
Oh, that's actually a positive.
See, I haven't had to make any plans. All right. Earlier today, we talked some minor league baseball, mostly in the Padres system, with our guy Sam Dykstra from MILB.com. Is Ethan Salas ready? I think you'll be surprised by Sam's answer.
Backfilled by international signings and even guys from last year's draft who had major question marks. Now, one thing the Padres will always tell you, if you ever ask, they believe they have the prospects in the system that they can develop, that they can get to the next level.
Yes,
we're seeing some of that, getting the Jace Bowens of the world, right? Like getting him on a minor league deal, turning him into a major leaguer, something the Pirates couldn't do for 6 years. That's promising, but it's still, I mean, outside a handful of names that I'm sure we're going to talk about here, there's not really many guys knocking on the door ready to help.
It also seems like the names that you would talk about are all arms. And right now they don't necessarily need arms. Sam, let me ask you about Jace Bowen and Samad Taylor. Just your first thoughts. Taylor has had a little major league experience. Was with the Royals a couple of years ago. Went, I think, 12 for 60, had 8 stolen bases, which is promising. Had a cup of coffee with the White Sox before coming to the Padres. Jace Bowen, you talked about and mentioned him. The Pirates couldn't do much with him. This guy went all the way down to the Australian Baseball League in 2023, trying to kind of work his way back from there. It's taken him 8 years to get to the majors, or 7. So what kind of prospects are these two guys really? And, should we be hinging any hopes to them?
Yeah, I don't know how many hopes I would be hinging to both of these guys. I mean, they're both certainly on the older side. Jace Bowen is still prospect eligible for us. Samad Taylor, I feel like, graduated a few years ago, has mostly been kind of a speed guy throughout his time in the minor leagues. A couple seasons in there with 50, 40 stolen bases. I think that's basically where he's going to help. Bowen's an interesting one because at El Paso, and I know, the Pacific Coast League, there can be some crazy power numbers coming out of there, especially El Paso and Albuquerque and et cetera, et cetera. But the exit velocities were certainly there for Jace Bowen, and the Padres really liked his defense. He could run, he could throw, he could tick 4 of the 5 boxes, really. It was the big question of he was super aggressive. He swung a lot, and we're starting to see that now and get punished for that in his first MLB looks. I think he's 1 for 8 with 5 strikeouts. Major league pitchers are going to take advantage of that aggression. Now, I think he can certainly do more things defensively than a Nick Castellanos could. And he's going to help out in those ways, and the speed is going to certainly be an advantage and something he can do in Samad Taylor the same way. But I don't think these guys are being brought up to raise the average of the offense. I think they're more supplemental pieces.
Talking to Sam Dykstra, MILB.com here on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better. Chris is going to ask you specifically about Ethan Salas in just a second, but I just wanted to get your thoughts. You may not even have an answer on this. When guys get pulled up from the minors to the majors, making their debut, and they struggle, do you think that is something that teams are worried about, or is that just something that fans make up in their head, that they're going to go down a path and they're going to be, not be able to recover from a poor start to their career?
Yeah, I don't think teams are that worried about it. Again, there's just like so much data going on now, and at the AAA level, at basically every level of minor league baseball, you're bringing up a guy knowing what he's capable of. Now, I will say the gap between AAA and the majors is, I think, larger than it used to be. There used to be a lot more 29, 30-year-old journeyman quad A players at AAA. It's not quite that anymore. It's a lot younger. So you're going from facing 24, 25-year-olds to facing those veteran types who can get you out multiple ways. I think you're seeing a lot more guys struggle early on. I mean, I think back to a few years ago, Bobby Witt Jr. really struggled out of the gate. Adley Rutschman really struggled out of the gate. Julio Rodriguez. Now these guys are, in Witt's case, certainly a superstar. J-Rod, certainly a superstar. So I think teams are willing to give a little bit more space for that. Now, it's more difficult to swallow when you're the Padres and you're trying to stay afloat in the NL West, but I don't think teams call these guys up expecting them to hit the ground running immediately.
Sam, Skraby and I were talking, and he actually had a good line, which I'll share with everybody listening.
He actually had a good line?
Yes, you did. You said that Freddie Fermin may force Ethan Salas to be called up. And you're referring to a guy that's 0 for 32, and we've gone back and forth. So kind of piggybacking a little on, what Skraby said, because the Padres keep saying, hey, he's ready defensively. We are worried maybe catching late in a ball game if he's up for all that. We don't want him to struggle at the plate. But when do you have to just cut the cord and take your shot, Sam?
I don't. That's a great question. And with Ethan Salas, I mean, listen, he's certainly back on the up and up. He's hitting the ball hard. He's hitting the ball a lot in the zone. Those are skills that translate well to the major leagues. I still want him seeing El Paso first. I get it. The Padres have done this in the past. They call guys up from AA. AJ Preller is willing to be aggressive. They had Salas around in spring training a lot on the major league side, so he's not going to go into that clubhouse and be amazed by who's in there. I think he would feel comfortable from a personality standpoint. But given, again, we're now at 2 months of performance for somebody who barely played. He played 10 games last year, was not very good at high A 2 years ago. I just want to see him absolutely knock down the door. I know it's fun to look at, what position he is and where they're struggling most offensively and just say, just send him out there. But this is a guy they believe can be a franchise cornerstone for them. And I do think there is something to be said for sending a guy up early and having him struggle. Now, if he struggles for 2 weeks, not that big of a deal. If he struggles for 2 months, all right, that's a bit more worrisome. I want him absolutely banging down the door and establishing more production given what his resume has been to this point.
Talking to Sam Dykstra, MILB.com on the SDCCU fan hotline. I think we need to listen to Sam, Chris, about this.
I am listening to Sam. That's why I asked him.
He's the voice of reason, because I've been kind of I don't know about this. Everybody wants him up there. I get why everybody wants him up there, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Otherwise, in their minor league system, Cruz Schoolcraft still doing some things. Who is their, in your mind, number one prospect right now?
I mean, it's certainly Salas. Without a doubt.
Yeah, that was a bad question. Other than Ethan Salas, who is your number?
Who's their number two?
Yeah.
No, I think that's certainly that's one that I'm banging around myself when I knew I was going to be talking to you guys. I was trying to think if I were to reorder the list right now, because I think Cruz Schoolcraft we still have in the top 100. I think he's certainly slipping out of that. The control is not that what anybody expected coming out of the gate. He's only 19 years old, and actually he had a start the other day in which faced 18 batters, struck out 9 of them. So you can see the promising pieces there, and the velocity is there. The changeup's really good. I know he's been working on the slider a lot, trying to find something consistent with a breaking ball and using single A Lake Elsinore as a development stop, which is what you want. You want these guys figuring stuff out now so they're more finished products by the time they get to the upper levels. So I'm not overly worried about him. I wouldn't kick him down to 7 or 8 yet. But you look at Cash Mayfield, who is performing just as well as he did last year. velocity's still not quite there with the fastball, but the actual ride, I was talking to a source about this, is about an inch and a half better this year. So he's getting more ride on the fastball. He's always had a really, really special changeup, getting a ton of whiff on that. The slider's playing pretty well. I think I would give him the leg up on Schoolcraft and Mendez. Miguel Mendez, I think he's somebody who certainly could pitch for the Padres at some point this season. In what role, TBD, because he's on the 40-man, but fastball sitting 96, 99 again. It's certainly there. He's getting a ton of whiff on the slider and the changeup. I just think Mayfield has that right package of he can work you top of the zone, he can work you bottom of the zone. He's got the changeup, so he can be a little bit more split resistant. It was a close call between Mendez and Mayfield on the preseason list. I think Mayfield's jumped above him just because handedness, youth, and the trajectory that he's currently on.
Sam Dykstra makes me feel smart after I interview him, and all these guys.
Too.
Ask me anything now, and I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Cruz Schoolcraft, he's got control problems.
He's had some problems, yeah. Sam, before I let you go, and this is a little bit of a curve that you may not have been expecting, but I'm going to trust you can hit it. There were some reports, and we're grasping now because the team is doing so badly. There's some people say that Mason Miller ought to be traded to the Yankees, and that there's some talk about this, and it would be like a 4 or 5 player package. And a part of that package that the Yankees could offer would include a 21-year-old outfielder, George Lombard Jr., I believe. I'm looking at some of his numbers. He had a great Double-A and promoted to Triple-A where he's hitting 196. Jason Dominguez is another guy in this name. This is all speculation at this point, but are these the kind of names that should intrigue us if there was really something like this afoot?
I mean, listen, I live in New York, so it almost sounds like you guys have gotten this from New York. This is something the Yankees media that I'm surrounded by is like, oh, yeah, we're just going to get Mason Miller.
Yeah, I know.
First it's Fernando, then it became Mason Miller.
Yeah, Mason Miller's the latest, so yeah.
I mean, yes, if they were to pull off a trade like that, George Lombard Jr., who is an infielder, is actually a really good defender at shortstop, but has had to move around to third base and second base because he's on the AAA roster with Anthony Volpe, and they're really trying to make shortstop happen for Anthony Volpe. But he's a gifted defender. The exit velocities have been there for him in the past. There's some intrigue there for sure. He's always somebody who has gotten promoted pretty aggressively and then struggles for a bit and takes a while to catch up to the level. Kind of like the Padres MO, to be honest. But could he be the long-term solution, to take the job away from Xander Bogaerts? Maybe. Is that worth trading the best reliever in the world? No. I mean, the Yankees have some interesting pieces. It would have to take them doing essentially what the Padres did last year, emptying out the cupboard to get Mason Miller. And I just wouldn't do that. I know it's a rough stretch right now, but one of the wild card spots is certainly gettable. And if you have a 6-7 headed monster like their bullpen in October and November, that's going to give you a chance. I wouldn't blow that up for much less than a top 5 prospect.
Yeah, well, like I said, you lose a couple more games, they'll be ready to ship anybody out of here. Sam, as always, great talking to you. Thanks for great insight on some of these young guys, and we'll hope that they can come home on their first homestand and flourish a little bit. And we'll catch up with you down the road. Appreciate all your intel.
All right. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
Sam Dykstra making us all a little smarter there from MILB.com. Padres are home tomorrow night. The Mets are in town. And
your favorite player.
Juan Soto. I'm going to go say hello. As long as he, gets on the bus properly.
I don't think he will.
Did he get booed here last year? Or
no,
was kind of a mixture?
That. Yeah, maybe. I don't remember it being overwhelming.
It wasn't overwhelming applause, I'll say that.
I do remember last year when they came here, he fouled a pitch off his leg and he had to come out of the game. I was at the game. So.
People were happy with that.
They were clapping for that. Yeah.
All right. Vegas is on the board, 1-0 at Carolina. They already lead the series 1-0. We're back tomorrow at 2:00 prior to Padre baseball for Skraby, Tony, Chris. Good night.
Bye.